But yeah, yesterday I
behind.
left the building in a train wreck after I packed everything.
Yeah.
And, so I had to come out here this morning, and I had a couple of orders, eBay orders I packed up. And then me and Austin went through, and I threw away a bunch of old bins and cleaned all the trash up, went to the dump, went and got one. I mean, we've just been crazy because we're getting ready. I think he told me he's looking like it's going to be Thursday when they move the building this week. So, Brad, I will not have internet unless I join through my phone on Thursday night.
Okay.
Of course. Who's the brains of this house?
So we're doing that. So I gotta go get plywood tomorrow and put that up in the loft. And after the show here, I'm going to traveling over to my friend's house, and I'm going to give him his 30% of income.
Hey, lad. I'm trying not to do that too close to the computer.
So we're kind of excited about that, getting that done.
We ordered new lights for our photo booth area today. We just gotta wait for them to come in. Finally get rid of those dang umbrella lights over there.
That's pretty nice.
You know, I just got for our sound booth, I just bought one of those 4-foot LEDs or whatever, but with the temperature control on it.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it works out great. The sides, I got sides on the booth. They're painted white and they reflect it off, and
the sides make all the difference.
Yeah, it's
you
more
got one sides to reflect it. We do not have that. We decided to go with we bought some of the flat panel lights, like the square studio panel light, the LED ones. And then we bought the flexible arms that mount to the wall so we could pull them up, down, side to side, and just kind of adjust them where we want them. And when we're not using them, we could push them back up against the wall. Because we use that bench for a lot of other things too. So it'll be nice to have them. We're sick of tripping over those big ass umbrellas.
So
They ever say hello to everybody?
I'm tired.
Hello to everybody who's in here. We got Todd, we got Lag, we got Behind the Bubble Wrap, Dave,
we got a whole bunch of folks in here.
Jordan here from Upstate Picker. We got Kat back, and we got JP in here. Hello, everybody. We're not trying to be rude. We're just not. We're not on it today.
Yeah.
Dave wants to know if those lights will glare, Corey.
If what?
If those lights will glare.
No, because we bought the more expensive studio light versions, so we can adjust the temperature and the brightness of them. Like they're really nice lights. They're made for that, so they'll be good.
Kat wants to know, does anybody know what happened to RIN this morning? Did they not have a show?
They never did. They never did come on.
Really?
Who are you talking about, Chris?
Kat wanted to know what happened to RIN this morning, but
I don't know.
Brad said they didn't come on.
That's a good question. I don't know. I didn't even notice, to be honest with you. Now that you mention it, I didn't see them pop up.
Yeah, I tried to turn it on around 8 and it wasn't there, and so I looked for it a little bit later and it wasn't there.
They're pulling a Tuesday show, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're pulling a Reseller therapy. Lad wants to know who RIN is.
We got
good answer.
Ren is a popular YouTuber.
Oh, look who showed up. Let's see here.
Did I ever send you that high Ren video, Corey?
The what video?
High Ren.
I don't think so.
The guy's name, REN, and the name of the song is High Ren.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. I love that video.
Yeah. thought that's
If
great.
you watch that video and don't have some feelings come up, you're dead inside. That's a very like he did a really good job of making a very emotional, like that thing swings around all over the place. It's a good video. What's that say? Kat says, Corey, one of your 3-year-olds, shut up. Kat, I don't know what it is with YouTube, but I'm getting videos from like 6-10 years ago showing up in our feed, like pretty consistently from everybody. So I think it's trying to resurface a bunch of old videos, including ours, which is good. Well, might be good.
I'm getting a bunch of Chris had to go pee videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What? Wait a minute. Whoa, what?
Yeah,
Hey, Sarah.
true story.
I'm assuming that's Sarah, not Josh.
Wait a minute. What do you mean Chris had to go pee videos?
Because that's what we do here.
Oh, no.
It's probably the shorts. Hey, Scott. Didn't even see you there. I'm not paying attention today.
Hey, I can remember when I got my channel back. What the hell? That was the worst thing is not seeing all the things I was sub to.
I watched that video you put out the other day, Scott, and there's some. I'll have to. I got questions.
You
I
got
direct him all to Corey. He took over that while I was gone.
Oh, was that? I don't know about that.
Scott, it was still so peaceful without you around for a couple of weeks.
I
Don't
know
do
you
that.
missed me. You probably
He's
cried
on
yourself to
the
sleep.
ledge. Don't push him.
What did she say?
He's trying to get Scott to quit YouTube. He's already on the ledge. We don't want to push him.
Oh.
She was saying how much she missed me. That's what she was saying.
Oh, okay.
Shit, I heard it.
He's screaming.
Where'd Brad go?
I don't know. It cut out. We are super noisy over here today. I'm sorry, man. We'll be done shortly. Tara says, hey, Teresa. Oh, we got Beach Body in here. Hey, Amy.
Yeah, Scott, you had some good information. Just that a lot of it I didn't understand because it's all technical stuff.
Yeah, I had to learn a lot of it about how to end a session and what truly cuts off
I hope
so that you're not vulnerable.
the big
Yeah.
one.
I didn't know it, Chris. I actually opened up Gemini and told since Gemini
ATS
is Chrome and they own.
So is the 2-factor thing not any good no more?
He's an 18.
You need it, but it doesn't protect you from everything like it's made out to believe.
You need bubble.
Okay. Yeah, I started closing everything out. At least I think I am after I watched that video. So I don't know.
Everybody gets to see my belly.
What?
So you woke up at like 3:30 in the morning and somebody was running Bitcoin stuff on your show, huh?
No, I didn't get up till 7. My channel was already suspended when I woke up.
Oh, it got
They had-
suspended?
Yeah, you can see they had it for they were live for 7 minutes before YouTube shut it down.
What were they doing?
Running the same thing they did on John's channel, that Bitcoin thing with the QR code.
Oh, okay.
What was the biggest portion of it, Scott? Was it the being logged in part?
What, that made me vulnerable?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because if you don't end the session, just leaving stuff open. I mean, if they get a hold of your token by some way, they can take control of whatever they want, no matter what kind of 2-factor authentication you got.
By ending the session, do you mean logging out?
Logging out.
So
Log out.
If you close the tab, session's still open.
And if you're still logged in, there is a session that still stays.
Okay. Gotcha.
So now every time I turn this
so you're saying to log out of everything. Okay.
because my computer's now set up that way. Every time I close the browser, it logs out everything. You can make Chrome tell Chrome where it can't save any data, and no websites can save any data. and so you can do whatever you want to, and then when you X out, it deletes everything.
Ask y'all.
And the biggest
Sorry, go ahead, bud.
biggest thing was moving eBay over to Safari because Safari doesn't have a lot of the same risk.
I'll give them my password if they can tell me how they get 50,000 viewers on a channel that has not enough subscribers or vision to get that far. Give me that
Only last 7 minutes.
Kat, to answer your question, I sold everything. Everything is gone. Everything.
Yay. Good job,
So,
Chris.
Kat, this Friday we will be doing random stuff.
You're going to be doing what?
We'll be doing random stuff.
Just randoms, huh? You have to let us know how it goes.
I don't know how much I'm gonna have, but I'm gonna do random stuff.
I was fixing to pick it to Teresa, but she's not there, is she?
What, Brad?
I said I was fixing to pick it Teresa, but she's not there, is she?
She's here. She's
Teresa
here.
hates whatnot.
I was gonna say she was all happy about her big sales day. Chris sold just as much in 2 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours.
Chris is the boss.
I was gonna try to start a gang war. Turf war.
He's gonna try to start something.
I didn't have to do anything for those sales. I just had to sit in my chair and wait for them to sell.
That's pretty much what I did too, except show them.
We thought that's what you only did.
You
all
had
the
to
time.
look. You had to list those items. You had to take pictures of those items. You had to sit the sold comps on those items.
We didn't have to go online and dance like a clown, Chris.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't take no pictures. I didn't have to research no comps or nothing.
Yeah, but I got eBay price.
Look at Brad. Look at Brad starting crap.
How many items did you sell, Chris?
Oh my God!
Brad started it. I'm gonna finish
Last
it.
Friday.
Yeah. On your whatnot.
Last
According
Friday,
to
I
Corey, all you
sold
do is sit around and do nothing anyway.
134. I think.
Right.
Hold on a minute. I'll tell you exactly what it is. I'll tell you exactly what it is. How many items it was?
How did you get into a dick measuring contest?
I'll put my buddy Jennifer's numbers against yours. You want to go against her numbers?
No, I don't, because she's been doing it a while.
But you sold 100 and some items and I sold 30.
But here's the thing, though, Teresa,
'Cause
is
he's
that
better
I
than you.
wouldn't listen. Those items I sold on whatnot would have taken 6 months to a year to sell on eBay. I would have made less on eBay than what I did on whatnot.
No, you would not have. No,
I sure would have. I promise you that.
Hold on. I'll give you credit. Like, that was awesome that you made that sale, but don't come and say you would have made more on whatnot than eBay. You're full of it.
I think for what I had, look, man. Hey, look. I will say this: I had a Super and NES. Okay, is missing the top. Now hear me out. Now it was missing the top, and the inside didn't look that good to me. I showed the inside of it, and I showed it. I said, if anybody wants this, y'all bid on it. I'm running it. That thing sold for $22 in 30 seconds. There's no way that thing would have sold for that much on eBay in 30 seconds.
Have you ever listed anything, even parts and repair for a video game on YouTube or on eBay that didn't sell?
No.
That's what I mean.
But it took longer to. I mean, I see both sides. I see both sides of it now.
Have you not seen the Heinz commercials? The best things come to those who wait.
Right, but I'm in a position to where I can't. I'm in a position where I can't wait right now. eBay's not.
My buddy Jennifer, she was live for 4 hours on Sunday. She sold 386 items in 4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Chris. I was just trying to.
She's still shipping today.
I know. Brad's a pot store. Brad's a pot store. He's just stirring the pot over there. Look at him smiling. He's laughing at us, Teresa.
Hey, look, we can talk about whatever you want, but you can't go shedding some positive light on whatnot. We ain't going to have that here.
Right.
I'm giving you all the praise I could give you. You did a good job. It wasn't whatnot.
All right, brother. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll accept that. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm here for you, buddy.
I can't see the total. Let's see. Here we go. Let me look at it this way.
Let me ask y'all a question. Tell me, y'all can tell me if this is petty. I just think it's kind of fun. I got a stack of old like DVD combo units, right?
Yeah.
And I'm down to the ones that just don't work. And so I'm actually like I'm just double checking it here, writing down on the blue tape on the top what the problem with it is.
Yep.
I probably got like 7 of them. I'm gonna take them and drop them off at the Goodwill. They still got the Goodwill stickers on them. And think about leaving a note with them saying this is why you don't charge a lot for stuff at the thrift store. And let them dispose of them.
So, hey, real quick.
Around here, you have to pay to get rid of electronics. So
Yeah.
You have to what?
Around here, you have to pay to get rid of electronics. So a lot of people do take them to the Goodwill and sell them.
So my analytics on that show, the show duration was 2 hours and 59 minutes. It had 18 first-time buyers.
Here you go, Chris.
At a total of 20. Oh yeah, there you go. 132. Yeah, I was looking at it right here. 132 orders is what it come out to. I had a total of 629 views. I didn't know that.
132 orders. How many packages go out in that? I'm assuming you had a lot of multi-quantity buyers.
Yeah, there was 22 packages total.
That ain't bad.
Yeah, and over half of them went in flat rate boxes, which was really nice. And I only got hit with $9.75 in shipping. So that worked out really good. Baseball. Yeah, we're gonna clean that. We'll get it clean, buddy. I'm sorry it's bothering you, man. You mean cover? I'll cover it up for you if it's bothering you.
Kevin, if it bothers you that much, go to his house and paint it. If not, shut up.
Look, this thing's getting ready to get moved. They ain't no telling what it's going to look like because I don't have to take nothing out of it. The guy told me. So I usually take things off top shelves and stuff like that.
You got me over here painting rust into the wall.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, baseball's a shit stir, so you can't. His name is Kevin.
Oh, okay.
You can't take that off him.
Okay. All right. Somebody asked something about random shows. Hold on a minute. Somebody did ask something about random shows. Chris, how do the random shows go? Okay, hold on a minute. How do random shows goes? I picked up an iPad yesterday to get into whatnot. Not sure if I want to bother with it yet or not. My random show is just going to be random items. There'll be a max shipping in 921 on that. And it's just a random item. The weight's usually between 8 to 11 ounces is what I put the weight at. And then I just pick an item up and run it, you know. I don't know how many. Normally I've been doing between 100 and 150 when I do them random, but I don't have that many. I don't have that much stuff right now. So I don't know. I may be getting. I say Friday, but I don't know what condition my internet's going to be in Friday, so I may not be able to do it Friday. So.
Okay, so I have a better question. I have a coffee maker that just came back. The lady returned it because she said it worked for a week and then it quit.
No way.
Do you give her a full refund? I'm not a warranty service. It got there working and she broke it.
She got a week worth of coffee. Charge the Starbucks price.
I would probably do the discount. I mean, not the discount, the deduction, and then I break the sucker down and sell the parts out of it.
Honestly, I'd probably just refund her to be done with it, but not because she deserves it. Oh, stupid. It's going to be right in the way. I just know it.
I guess the thing will be if I take it inside and test it and it works, she getting charged half.
There you go.
Well,
because I've had some very difficult customers. One had me jump through hoops to get him something. Only he had it for exactly 3 hours before he filed a return order by mistake.
Wow. I got negative feedback left on my store today, my parts store, because and their negative feedback. Now check this out. I just don't understand. So the guy sent me a message. He received an item that did not work. It's supposed to work, battery and the. So here's the thing. It was the battery and the. It was the battery and the charger. When I tested it, they worked. The battery charged, the battery worked, you know. So I got a message from him today that said, let's see, where's it at? Messages. It says, I want to return the battery charger. Tried to charge the battery and it's no good. Don't know if it's the battery or the charger, but either way, it doesn't work. And then, so he did the return. Of course, eBay automatically approved the return, right? Well, and he was sent a label or whatever. Well, he left me, this is nuts. After that, he left me feedback, and the feedback says, I'm thinking about getting him to revise it, because it says, I want to return the battery charger. The battery doesn't charge. Don't know if the battery is bad or charger. Either way, they are not good. That's just negative feedback. That's not really feedback. That's just.
What do you call it?
What do you call that?
It's feedback.
I mean, I don't know. That don't sound like it's negative. I mean, because he's getting a return, he's going to get his money back. You know, I mean, so I'm not sure what the.
Yeah, but that's not what feedback's for. Feedback is for them to tell the rest of the world what their experience was with the purchase.
But this,
He told the rest of the world that he's an idiot.
But see, my thing is, though, is when I read this, I'm thinking if I was another buyer, I'm thinking, oh, this thing didn't work and he did not get his money back. That's what I'm thinking.
So just reply to it.
I'm going to let ChatGPT do that. He replies to all my stuff now.
That takes all the fun out of it.
Nothing wrong with that. Scott, I still think that's what
James, what's going on, James?
just customer service replies.
See, Cat says you can usually tell if they are good or not within the first couple of minutes. Not organized, not friendly, complaining, nope, turned off. Then they're selling off their non-selling eBay trash. Chris, just leave a really snarky reply. What kind of reply should I leave there, Lag?
Honestly, Chris, with you moving to Whatnot, eBay doesn't matter. You can try to eat a bag of dicks and move on.
Yeah.
You don't sell on eBay anymore.
That's my parts store. Tammy told me the other day, she says it looks like the parts store is going to become the main store. And the other one's going to come to back up now. I said, that's what it's looking like.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Might be an easier store to manage.
I got to pivot, I will. I'm going to as soon as this building gets moved and I get the power put in and get at least get the power put in, because I got to dig a ditch for that. Well, my son's got to dig a ditch for the power line. But as soon as I get that done, I got to wait 7 days for the internet to become put in, and then I'm going fishing for a couple of days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, gonna make my first video, fishing video.
New channel content, rather.
Yeah, new channel content. Yeah.
I'm telling you, fall out of the kayak, you'll get all kinds of views.
Well, I don't have a kayak no more. I got a video of that.
Well, if you fall out of a kayak you don't have, that's even better.
No, I sold that one. I got a video of me falling out of one.
I think 3 of them here if you want to come borrow one to fall out of.
Who does?
I do. I've got like 3 of them out here. I ain't ever put my ass in one.
Go all the way up there and fall out of one on the ice. That'd really be good.
Oh yeah.
I don't think
Southern boy tries to kayak in South Dakota in the winter. There you go.
the ice is pretty sketchy right now. I wouldn't want to go out on it.
Lag said, just reply how he tried to scam you and they're a thief.
You don't know how crazy these people out here ice fishing are. There's open water around a lot of this ice, and they're still driving 4-wheelers out on it, right next to like open water.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy videos about that, man, when people fall in. I'm just like, no way. Brad, how's the Playmobil world working?
Still number one.
Still number one.
So you just found a cool piece that kind of surprisingly like $100 piece just a second ago.
Really? In the stack that you have, sir?
The stack that she has.
I mean, the last load is what I meant.
Yeah. We're not even going to keep track of. There's just too much I have to keep track of on this one as far as like. Normally she tries to track it and write down when it sells and stuff like that. But
right.
There's just so much of it. I looked at it like a couple of days ago, and I think we'd already sold around $2,000 out of that new load. So
nice. Well, your
Have
trip.
you sold any of the other stuff? The other load that you got from Colorado? I mean, have you got rid of it already?
No, we still pushed it to the back.
Oh, you haven't even listed it all yet.
No.
Oh, wow.
How much you got listed out of that Colorado stuff?
I've listed 25,861, and we've sold 15,000.
She's listed right at 26,000 out of the Colorado stuff. And she said, so what did you say, 16,000, 15,000?
You sold 15,000 already?
Out of the Colorado stuff, yeah.
Golly, that's bad. So how many packages are you packaging on average a day now?
Oh, it depends. I only did 4 today. But we got some more already to go, I think. At least one more. And then there's one. Is this something you?
She's not paid.
How many's in there? 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got a multi-item order, like 7 pieces in it right now that a woman's building. So they're good about paying.
That's good.
I'm still irritated at all the rest of you eBayers, though.
Wow.
What do we do?
Well, y'all wanted immediate payment on offers that you send out. And so eBay finally made it where that's a reality. But now we can't, that's one thing we don't have the option to turn off. And so people are receiving our offers, but then they're also wanting to combine it with other things that they're looking at in our store, which works. They can accept the offer, but it's going to immediately charges them from every offer they accept.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you suck. Because we spend more time trying to tell people the best way to, because I want everybody that shops with us for the first time or just can't get with the program, so to speak. They'll ask us how can we combine that with the stuff we have, and so we have to go through this process of every time of trying to tell them, if you will counter offer our offer with just that same offer, we'll accept it, and then it won't force you to pay immediately if we accept your offer.
I'm trying to think on a regular e-commerce store, like if you were on Shopify, how it would work any differently. They could go through your store and add 10 things to the cart and buy once. They don't have to buy like a moron.
No,
Yeah, I
you're-
have people go through and add all that stuff to their cart and then purchase it at one time. I've had people do that.
yeah, people do that every day. You're not listening to what I'm saying. They are getting offers from us that we just have auto offers on through Vendu. So they're receiving an offer from us.
So that's the difference.
So if they accept an offer that we send them, it just eBay automatically makes them pay for it.
Yep, I get
And
you.
so what they're asking us is I have some other items that I've added to my cart that I would like to purchase with that, but they can't do it like this. They can't add an offer to their cart and then pay for everything at once.
And I think that's where the big difference is, because most e-commerce stores, they're not going to send you an offer.
Hey.
The price is the price.
Right.
Jeff has your answer right here on it. He says, I hate that combined shipping. It happened to me today and had to refund shipping on 5 items after going back and forth with the customer about 6 emails.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm spending so much time on the back end trying to explain to them how we can circumvent that. And then some of them will like think they're doing you a favor. So they'll be like, I'll just not accept your offer, add them all to my cart, and then you can refund me on the invoice. Well, the problem is you can only deduct the amount of shipping. Like, it won't let you deduct further than that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, you can't discount an invoice beyond what the shipping cost was. So,
so you don't have the box clicked, Brad?
what box?
So there's a box that you can click on your listings that tell you whether you accept payment right away or not.
Yeah.
If you don't have that click.
Let me cut you off there.
Okay.
I don't have immediate pay on any of my items.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So if they add stuff to their cart or they send us an offer and I accept their offer, they're not forced to pay for anything. But there is no option that I've found within eBay where you can make it where it doesn't automatically charge them when they accept your offer.
Oh, okay, I got you. I understand.
Whereas used to, it did not force that immediately. They could accept offers from us. They could send offers to us. They could add items to their cart, and then all of those things we could combine in one invoice on the back end.
I mean, honestly, this sounds like it's your fault, Brad.
Honestly, it's everybody's fault because they demanded immediate payment on offers.
I think all you got to do is quit sending those offers.
Dave, I'm not ignoring your question. I'm just waiting until we get done with this segment, and then I will answer that for you.
And the part that like really just irks me to no end is I have a really good system, had a really good system for combining shipments.
Yeah.
And the way it would calculate all that was almost always like dead on. Like maybe we would make like a dollar or two more at the most after it combined shipping. And now none of that. I spend more time doing refunds. Like, for example, here's an example of when it's really irritating. Person bought like eight or 9 items. Just like did they accept offers, I guess? I think they accepted offers and they bought like 8 or 9 items. And then the overpayment on shipping, because it immediately charged them, wound up being like $56. Like they overpaid $56 in shipping. So I put the order together. The problem was like the highest order in there with the item plus shipping was like $25. And I had one that was like 25, one that was 22. So I wound up having to refund them in 3 different items in the order instead of just, like one, like, okay, here's your refund for the combined. And it's just like spending more time doing stuff I don't really need to do that just irks me.
Make Tanya do it.
So all you immediate pay people, because y'all are so worried about something sitting there for a few days.
You're welcome. Again, you're welcome.
Hate all y'all.
You're welcome.
You're
Brad.
welcome.
Go sell them a car if you don't like it.
I do sell them a card.
I do think it's a net positive still, Brad. I know that's annoying because we have to do it too, but I still think it's a net positive for everybody.
Correct.
Hey, Dave.
You can't
Dave
spray,
asked,
you can't spray perfume on a pig and make it smell better.
Yes, you can.
yes, you can.
No.
You can make it smell better for you.
Mhm.
The pig still stinks underneath, but you don't
All right,
notice
Dave-
it.
Dave
I was-
Decker's asked me a question real quick. Will you answer it real quick, Brad, before we go further?
Yeah, go ahead, man. You're good.
All right.
I'm through. I'm
Just
through.
Chris, a while back you talked about TikTok having issues posting what's sold videos. Can you elaborate? Yes. So whenever TikTok made the switch this year, or whoever bought them out or whatever happened there, TikTok now, when you make, so especially with live videos, if you do, because I used to do my live packing on there, whenever you mention any other platform such as eBay, Poshmark, Macari, or any other selling platform, whatnot, or any of those, if you're live, they restrict your video, meaning your live is no longer put out to where people can see it or anything like that, where you're not on the search, whatever. People can't just search your video out anymore. So someone would have to be your follower to even know that you're live. With regular videos, they also they buffer those to where they're not being pushed out to newer audiences. And here's what it is. They have cracked down on that because you're not allowed to mention the other platforms because TikTok has solely, yes, you can still do videos and stuff like that on there, but they are really trying to build that platform into a selling platform. That's why when you see a lot of these what's sold videos or whatever, they're doing a TikTok shop item also. And every so often, as they're doing a packing, they're not telling where they're packing, what website it is. But what they are doing is they're packing the item that's sold on eBay, and then they'll pick this item up and say, hey, if you want this over on TikTok shop, it's over in my TikTok shop. They're constantly mentioning TikTok shop about every 5 to 10 minutes or whatever. And that's not, I'm not pushing out TikTok shop. And so I actually don't do any more reselling videos over on TikTok. I haven't done them in a while because of that.
Yeah, like Brad sent me an offer, and that's what hacked my YouTube account.
You're welcome. See, but what doesn't bankrupt you makes you stronger, Scott.
So I bought these random CDs at the auction in Tennessee that I go to. Tell me if anybody's heard of any of these. Somebody just bought all 4 of them. The Isaacs. Look at that crew.
That's a Southern Gospel group. I've heard of them.
The Palmetto State Quartet.
Never heard of them.
There's another crew here. Look at the hair on Heaven Bound.
Hubcaps.
I love it.
And then
Yeah.
the Impacts. They're all gospel. It was a whole box. It was a whole box of nobody bid on them but me, $5. Jacob listed them last night, and I just sold $32 worth in 24 hours.
So look for the gospel.
Man, obscure gospel because it's so hard to find. If it doesn't have a barcode on it, man, I'll buy it because.
Hey, Brad, you see what Jeff said?
Jeff?
Yeah.
Jeff where? Jeff who?
Who's Jeff?
James, not Jeff. Golly, why do I keep calling him Jeff? James. James.
That's what I'm
You know, James, I started to say earlier, I might pull a Chris and just start calling them every single day. Like, I wish they've got a setting for, if you want immediate pay. I feel like just one little tweak where you could just like say, I don't want immediate pay on offers. That'd fix the whole dang thing.
Yeah,
But
I got Jeff on the brain, man. I got you. I gotta go give that money.
Hey, James, Chris knows your name. He shouts it out every Thursday night when he sees you, and he gets so excited.
I'm sorry, man. I got Jeff on the brain because that's the guy I got to go pay his money to. That's pretty cool.
It's not cool because I can't get a damn picture of it.
Oh,
I have to glossy photo, so it puts a glare in it no matter what angle I put it at.
Oh no.
So, orders page. Let me go. I'm gonna just go ahead and do that right now. Maybe I'll just start doing it every so often. Orders page.
Need a dark room.
You know what eBay's going to tell you? We prefer that you do free shipping, then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. That's exactly what they'll tell you.
Brad, with you being with the Playmobil stuff, you
The
could
number one Playmobil guy. Yeah, Brad, you might can get something done.
I think I'm like on this store, everything's free shipping because I pretty much know what shipping's going to be on everything.
Yeah, my parts store, 90% of it is free shipping. All the little stuff is free shipping on my parts store.
Here's where that would get complicated for us.
Solving problems. Probably the big set, huh?
I'll get an order for like, you can see this Native American thing. I'll get an order for like, well, I got 7 of them sitting right there.
Okay.
Right? And that's easy. I know what each one of those is going to cost to ship pretty much anywhere. But then it'll go with, where's that thing at? They might also order this as part of the order, you know? And so it's just nothing's.
Well, if you just do everything that's larger than anything that wouldn't fit in a 8x8x8 box, put calculated shipping on. Everything smaller than that, put free shipping on. Most of your invoices are probably going to end up being, there's only 1 or 2 things that are charging them shipping anyway. It might fix the problem or at least reduce it.
Yeah, we're going to get $5 offers on everything. That's what's going to happen.
Turn your offers off.
Not going to do that either. Everything's working. I got to be number one doing what I'm doing. I can't change everything. God.
Dave said use FedEx shipping. It'll be cheaper.
Oh my God. Yeah, it'll be cheaper.
Yeah. I'm not a fan
You
of
pay for what you get, right? I've never had issues. I've had more issues with USPS than I have FedEx.
How often do you use FedEx?
I do use FedEx.
I said how often. I mean, you're bound to have more problems with the service you use the most.
There's a first time for everything, and I know this is not the experience of everyone. I've never had a single issue with UPS.
I've never had a single issue with UPS that they didn't resolve.
I haven't had an issue with UPS now that I think about it.
I have had issues with UPS, but they did take care of it. Like they didn't just say, "Well, that's too bad."
Right.
Oh, I've had plenty of issue with the UPS. Your item broke, and it was a liquid, and so even though it was packed correctly within our things, we have destroyed the item, and then we're not giving you any money back. They did that over and over.
How can they do that?
Same one that's up there. The same one that's up there.
Look at this one, Brad. That's a cool stereo view. $18.99.
Oh, that's cool.
Filipino stockades.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that like?
They were there, but it's an interesting photograph.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I think it sounds like James can empathize with me. He probably has lots of multi
Oh, I'll bet.
orders.
Yeah, Dave, the only thing I can say about FedEx, with FedEx, you've got, if you don't want to get a chargeback or anything like that, it's best to add about an inch to the dimensions on all sides.
I think the best thing I can say about FedEx is don't.
Don't.
Freaking don't.
Lag said they deny UPS denies claims for lost packages even though they're insured.
Well, UPS might deny it, but we usually do. We've never had a problem with UPS shipping. We always ship through either Pirate Ship or eBay. And we've never had a UPS claim that we didn't win. Knock on wood. I hope we don't.
I ain't gonna lie to you. USPS keep going up. I'm gonna start shipping everything UPS
Some people do.
because it's cheap. I shipped something the other day, and I wish I would have sent UPS because UPS was $2.50 cheaper to ship it,
Were they?
and it was a small package. It wasn't nothing really big.
Well, do you check before you ship?
No, I didn't pay attention to it. That's why I started paying attention to stuff.
I mean, do you usually?
What?
Do you usually check before you ship? Before
No.
you buy the label?
No, I just usually just go with what. Usually, Ground Advantage is cheaper, but here lately it has not been on some items.
When we go to pack, we always take the final weight measurement, and then we ship
Looks like the stuff's coming out.
accordingly.
Hey, Scott.
Downgrade them.
You asking him, does he check, is about the same thing as do you realize who you're talking to?
Hey, look, Scott. Kat's got a message for you. She says Chris, but I guess she thought I'm the one that said it. But it has to do with your package. You see it?
Yeah, but it's already thrown out and carried on.
They're not, Cat, you're not wrong, but it's not across the board a solid rule on that because we just shipped 12 pounds worth of plated silverware this morning. It went cheaper Ground Advantage than it did UPS. But it really depends. I mean, we have Ground Advantage, UPS, and Priority available on pretty much everything on the main store as options. But when we go to pack it and weigh it and we go to buy the label, we look at the prices on all of them. And then if UPS is an upgrade, but it's cheaper, we'll go UPS. But
I think it depends on where it's going also.
Sure. Yeah, it would.
No, it's definitely, even though UPS says it's lower than Ground Advantage, if it's going like through Indianapolis or through Birmingham, you are faster ground to let UPS handle the first.
Yeah.
Skip over the sort centers.
Yeah. Yeah, Kat, you're right. It really depends. It is nice having them all three as an available option on your items when they sell because it makes it very quick to check right when you're getting ready to do your labels. And make sure you're getting the cheapest shipping.
I mean, I only had 6 break out of 225 bottles, so I mean, and those 6 bottles were $4 each, so they ended up. Well, I mean, it really wasn't a big loss.
Lag says DHL for the win.
Check this out. This new load of Playmobil we had, he had custom one-off pieces. This was one of them.
Nice.
Little whorehouse.
Keep
a
it
little whorehouse. Nothing wrong with it. It's a little. It's a madam's home, if you will.
Oh, and they made it.
I don't know. It's got Playmobil on the base plate.
Custom.
I don't know how much of it's. I don't know how it was custom.
Did Playmobil? Did Playmobil?
Dave, I'm gonna help you out, Dave. You can't. You can quit looking. They don't qualify because they are too rigid. You must. I'll show you. I put them in the little white envelope if they're disc only.
They have to be.
Actually, Tanya, I think it might be painted.
You have to put a stamp on them, and then you also. I'm out of the machine stamps, but you've got to put the 2-ounce stamp on it, and then put a non-machinable stamp on it. It ends up costing $1.58 shipping.
Custom.
I need to start doing that on some of mine.
Are you not, Scott? Are you not putting them in the cardboard sleeves that you get off eBay?
How are you getting? tracking is the thing. How are you putting that back into eBay that it was shipped?
No, you might
There's no tracking.
people customizing the
So how do they market it? How do they know if you've shipped on?
They don't. So that's why I quit doing it, because I'd rather be top rated than sell them like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't sell them like that no more?
Careful handling that, boy.
So how do you mark it shipped? On the arrow down, the same place you'd give a refund, there's a spot on there that says mark as shipped.
So how do you ship them now then, Scott?
Red ground. You got $5 and
You still using the non-machinables?
I don't use those. It's $4.47. I've got the stamps left because I've still got like 30 listed. So when I sell those out, I'm not going to. But I can mix those in. My sales velocity is so high now. Like this weekend, I had 74 items sold this weekend on that store.
I was supposed to be photographing records today. We have a shop full of records, and they're all like church music records for the most part, and they're out of a piano teacher's tape sale.
People are buying that many DVDs?
No, CDs.
CDs, I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Okay, so here's a question for you to show you the difference. I never would have dreamed.
What happened?
What happened? He lost him.
I think he must have touched his internet button. There you go, Chris. Add him back in.
All right, there he is.
Out of 72, I'm switching browsers. Out of 72 orders, how many were CDs? How many were DVDs? 72 orders.
I'm guessing 60 of them were CDs.
All right, who else?
Half and half, maybe?
No way.
Yeah, I would think more CDs than.
I mean, CDs and DVDs. When you say, okay, wait a minute, CDs is music, DVDs is movies. So yeah, I'd say 75, 25 CDs. Like
I'm in
72. Oh, they're only 72. How do we get to 75?
He's talking about 75%.
75% of them.
There were 68 CDs and 4 DVDs.
Oh wow, that's like 95%. Holy cow!
I missed it by
And
2.
I have 2,500 DVDs listed, so it's not like, I mean, I have 6,000 CDs listed, so it's
Nice.
But still, though,
Is there a point at which you just start leaving DVDs off the list?
I don't even unless they're new, I don't look at them. I mean, I'll buy them in bulk at a yard sale. I bought some at the auction last week because they were all kids DVDs and they were $12 for 90. So
I just watched a whole thing on Prime yesterday or the day before. Had nothing to do with reselling, but it indirectly did, where they were talking about physical media making a big comeback now. People are getting sick of the streaming, getting sick of not owning their media. And they were talking a lot about DVDs more than anything, but music too. I don't know. If DVDs ever come back, we're certainly stocked up for it, but I wouldn't necessarily be buying them right now.
yeah, unless they're like stupid cheap. I mean, like a quarter or less, I don't buy them.
But we have a big tote of DVDs over there right now, but we got them at dirt cheap price. I mean, we bought 500 of them for like $50 or something at a garage sale. They just weren't.
Yeah, I would still buy them like that.
Scott, are you letting List Easier set the price on those?
No.
List Easier doesn't set the price.
Well,
They
when you
give
do
you
that,
the price,
when you
but-
do that bulk listing, you can. Well, when I do the flex, it gives me a recommended price on it.
Oh, you're talking on Flex? Yeah, I know what you mean.
We double check everything. We put our own prices on everything.
Okay.
See, on these,
Like,
I have an AI price. But I don't ever use the Flex. That's something Teresa uses. I don't use the Flex side. I haven't had it.
I do know on Flex, like when I do Flex, there is a button for each little area that you got to fill out. There is a button whether you can say, do you want to use this on all your listings? Like for the price is one of them. Like if put the price in, and if you want to use it on that same price on all your listings, you just click that button and they'll add it to all of them.
Yeah. Which is great for some things like our cookbooks. I know there's some really expensive cookbooks, but for our cookbooks, we don't look any of them up. It's like $16.95 across the board, free shipping, and we just list them all at that price. We don't even look them up.
Dude,
And the good ones,
I sold a cookbook 3 weeks ago for $92.
yes, there's some good cookbooks. I know we're letting some go, but it's
But
easy.
these are you
them
wouldn't
in.
have them. These are Southern. They are from AT&T down here.
Yeah.
It's called Calling All Cooks.
Ah. Well, watch out
These
for
were
that.
they were the Alabama and the Mississippi versions of Calling All Cooks. The green one. I had the only one on there. Some lady's like, "Would you take $40?" No, ma'am. I'm like, "This is the only
I
copy
would.
on eBay."
We'll take.
I had
40
it.
if
I
you
had it
don't.
for 100. I took 92.
I swear I cannot get this dang photograph. They're just gonna get a glared photo. It ain't gonna be good.
Yeah, the media store's done really well. It's up.
Yeah.
Rookie day yesterday, 3 1/4 yesterday on that store.
Nice.
Hey, Corey, remember how you wanted to talk about topics and stuff on here?
Yeah.
I got a good topic to talk about.
What's your topic?
What y'all think about dropping bombs on Iran?
Well, I didn't say politics.
I don't have enough information to.
Yeah, I wish I could talk about that intelligently. I just don't know anything about it other than it's happening.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know how to get. I don't know how to get y'all the sound for this thing. But there's some. Have y'all seen any of these videos?
no.
Yeah, I have. It's funny. Have you seen the song?
Yeah, I told him this would happen, and all.
Iran. Have you seen that one, Scott?
Oh my God! One night last week, the other day, I had like 15 of them in a row of all these AIs of Trump doing crazy mess.
There was one of it. You know that song, something Iran. It's not Iran. It's that's what the word they use. But he goes bomb, 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 bomb. You know what I'm talking about?
It's the Beach Boys. It's the Beach Boys.
Yeah, and he uses Iran in there. That was funny. I seen that one.
That's the problem with topics like that, Chris. I don't mind deep diving into topics, even if I don't know a lot about them. But I don't think we could talk about that topic and do anything other than make us look foolish. I don't think anybody knows enough about that, including probably half the people involved.
My take is way different than most people.
I don't know if I have a take. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's my thing. I don't have the info to make a.
I could have a take.
Can't believe the media. So I listen to this group where they've been tracking a lot of the stuff, and they are under the impression that Trump is dismantling the London-based banking system. If y'all don't know about Iran, there was a British Petroleum was built on Iranian oil, and they got a lease of a stupid deal in the early 1900s, and they have milked Iran for billions and trillions of dollars of oil, and they have built their oil empire through British Petroleum. And that is the way they have laundered money. That's the reason why England has been able to have the lifestyle at a little bitty country, is because of the money they've gotten out of oil in the Middle East. And Trump is dismantling every part of the London banking system. And it's just, you got to cut the funding off. That's the last thing. That's why both sides are mad at him. That's why the neocons are mad at him, because they are the old guard are the ones that are being pushed by those same people, and the left is mad at him just because they're stupid.
Just because they're stupid.
And why it makes no sense for a president who says no more wars to go in, and because you got it, everything he's done has been Promethean, I think, is what the people that I've been listening to. There's a lady she's on TikTok and Instagram, and she goes into detail about all the behind the scenes stuff that the media doesn't tell you about why things happen. It's very interesting.
Yeah, but even that's speculation. I mean,
A lot of it, yeah.
you don't really know for sure. It's a good hypothesis, good theory.
Yeah.
I think the
But it's
problem
still
I have with
speculation.
most of it is you can literally put anyone in front of a camera, and if they say something confidently enough, it sounds like, yeah, you know, even if it's complete bullshit, and I have no idea what's true and what's not true.
I
And
don't
it-
Part
think
about the part
No.
about British Petroleum is true. You can go read all about British Petroleum and what they did.
I don't think it's speculation to say that there's way more going on than what's said on the surface for sure. But
yeah, it doesn't. I mean, if you break it down and look at everything that's being said, and then you ask yourself, you know, why are we doing? Why are we over there? Is it because, you know, if you take them at their face value of, you know, we don't want them to have nuclear weapons. Well, great. I don't want anyone to have nuclear weapons, but
Hey, can't just wait. The right stupid too. There's nobody smart in this game. You
it
don't
goes
have
right
to.
back to the original question of, I don't want anybody to have nukes, but why are we policing that? Why do we get to say what country has nukes and what country does? Like, that's what I mean. If you break it back down to what they're saying, no matter who's saying what, none of it really makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so here's the question: are nukes real? Have we been lied to this whole time?
Japan thinks they are.
You go to Japan, and if that place was nuclear fallout, how do they rebuild Hiroshima and the other ones in no time?
That's not, yeah, but the nuclear fallout doesn't happen like most people think, like Hiroshima or something like that, because they're detonating those things in the air. Most of the nuclear material is burning up midair. It still rains on them. Go look at Russia, where you can't even go in there. The land is radioactive. Are you talking about Chernobyl?
Yeah.
by the way, great series. If you've never seen the Chernobyl, if you never saw the Chernobyl series, that was a great series. Check it out.
A lot of that is borderline livable now too. It's not as bad as they expected, other than like the elephant's foot area that they had to contain. Like, that's going to be radioactive for a long time.
Yeah, one of the YouTubers I watched went close to there, and he had to carry all kinds of mess. The track his radiation level.
Oh, like Geiger counters and just in general.
And they put little tags on you that once it changes colors, you've had too much exposure and they've got to leave.
Yeah.
But there are still quite a bit of people that live on the outskirts. You're right. I mean, I was shocked how many people still live in the area.
And the wildlife has pretty much thrived there. So it definitely makes you question, but like I said, I don't know anywhere close enough to be talking about it.
All right, I got something else. I
don't even know where to find out, though. You got something else?
Where's Cat mad? I don't think all of stupid. Oh, Cat. Scott, you done made somebody mad.
Oh.
I'm sorry. All right, we won't talk about that no more. Hey, what about aliens?
Wait, who said who was stupid? Hold on.
I mentioned the left. I said the comment about the left being stupid. And it's just the ones out in the street that are being paid to protest. If someone's a left leaning towards the middle and a right leaning towards the middle, that's where we get things done. It's the wackos on the outskirts of both sides that
I will say anybody that's willing to hear something that's offensive and shut the conversation down and not at least dissect it to the point where you're like, why do they think that way? And that happens a lot more on the left than the right, but it happens on both sides.
Oh, it does.
And I think you like that group of people, and I wouldn't say they're left or they're right, but the people that are like they don't want to hear an argument to their stance, those people are stupid. And I don't care what side of the aisle they're on.
Correct.
So what do you think about aliens?
I think we do a show every Tuesday with one.
Do you think there are aliens in Area 51?
I don't know.
I don't believe. All right, here we go, Corey. I'm going to use your thing. I don't believe that there are aliens in Area 51. Prove me wrong.
Well, I don't
There
know
you
about
go.
that, but my best friend growing up, his first marriage, his wife's dad was something in military / government. He worked at Area 51 supposedly, and he would never say anything about it other than when they would try to prize him about it. He said there's just things that would blow your mind if he could actually talk about them. And he could have just been trolling them, but apparently he was a very sober-minded gentleman, and that means nothing.
I think that's true.
That don't mean there's aliens, though.
I just think it's interesting to note.
Yeah, I think that's true at a lot of levels. I think if we knew half of the things that went on in the world, somebody who was there was a podcast, and I think it was kind of a political podcast. I don't remember which one it was, but they were talking about somebody's here. UPS is here, Scott.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about,
I don't care to UPS is there.
Is kind of like a guy tied in the back of a cave, and he can only see the world that's right there next to him. So he doesn't believe anything is outside the cave. But if he gets a little bit of a glimpse from what's outside the cave, they kind of got to pull him into the fold of the people who know, that are in the know. But the people tied up in back of the cave, they just wouldn't believe that there's things out there. Even when they see them, sometimes they don't want to believe them because it's just their world doesn't exist in that world. But it was an interesting conversation. I wish I could remember what podcast it was.
They knew where he worked before they knew to even ask these questions. And the reason these questions started getting asked by the family was whenever all the Bob Lazar stuff originally came out with George Knapp back in the day.
I don't know what that is.
George Knapp, Bob Lazar was a guy who supposedly worked at Area 51, and there's a whole bit of lore around him and stuff.
Yeah,
George Knapp is
there's a secret base in the mountain away from Area 51 is where Bob Lazar actually worked.
Called S4. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
George Knapp is an actual journalist, like television guy that works out on, I don't know what the station is out there and wherever it's at. But he basically treated this whole Bob Lazar thing as like a whistleblower deal. And they ran a whole series out there on the news like over a week or two about all this stuff. So it's interesting if you've never even listened to it. It's very interesting. But when that stuff came out originally, I don't even remember how we got a hold of all that stuff about Bob Lazar, because it's not like it is now with the internet where you can see what they're doing everywhere.
He came out and had a press conference, didn't he?
I think it got picked up maybe by some other news sources and stuff, and
I don't know.
Got shared out. But anyway, yeah. So they started asking him about that kind of stuff, and he would not talk about it.
Really?
The only comment he would make on the commentary he'd make on is this: there are things that if you knew, it would change the way you see things.
I believe that's true.
Probably the fact that there wasn't nothing there.
Maybe.
That would make a lot of people see things differently.
I don't think it would make me say it might be a very stick your head in the sand view, but I do think if more people shut off the TV and planted a garden and gave a shit about what's in their immediate area, there'd be a lot happier people in the world. Some things I don't mind knowing things, but honestly, if I knew there was aliens in Area 51, how is my life going to change? How is that going to affect me in my day to day? It's not even a little. If they came out and introduced to everybody, it wouldn't affect me in any way.
Here's the
Brian said something here. He says, with space being so vast, there has to be more life out there. Well,
So Dave, I struggle with people who dismiss flat Earth as the one thing I can tell you about globe theory is it's only been around for 100 years, and the people that told you that have lied to you about everything else. So I don't know if it's flat. I don't know if it's a globe. You're never going to know. But I can tell you one thing: if they changed everything to try to convince you that it's a globe, there's a reason that they want you to believe that it's a globe.
Have you seen the video of the guy who put the thing up at the South Pole during their 6 months of sunlight or whatever it is, or however many months sunlight it is, to do the rotation? And I think it's something we could know. I had a friend, like I don't care. It's like I know what people who believe flat Earth would say. They're trying to hide beyond the ice wall, as it were. My question was this, or the way to know was this, is if the mathematically, if the parameters of our Earth, or if the sizes of our Earth are accurate as we've been told, then the distance around the outskirts of Antarctica, which can be traversed, even though there's some really, really nasty current stuff that happens down there, you can know that how long it would take to travel if you were traveling at so many knots and blah, blah, blah. If you took that same thing and you pull the map out, so to speak, that it would be flat Earth, the amount of time it would take to travel the edge of that ice wall would be astronomically different. So without even getting there, you could figure out one or the other.
But if you believe we live on a globe, explain airplanes. That's it.
What do you mean explain airplanes?
Hey, look.
The SR-71 Blackbird goes so damn fast that it would have to adjust down not to fly off into space as fast as it goes. So many, I forget what the number is. It's a crazy number, and they never adjust for anything. They just fly. Like they're on a level plane. And the other thing is, look at flights and how flights go, and why did they go? Because you lay the globe flat. It's not like you look at it and go, you should go here to here. The flights don't work the way it works on it. You look at a globe; they don't work that way.
Listen, I have literally sailed. Wait a minute! I have literally sailed around this world. There's no edge anywhere. If you're saying there's an edge at the top and the bottom, there would have to be one on each side too. So there's
Chris,
no edge.
I'm not saying there's an edge on the top. You know who says there's an edge on the top of this earth?
Who?
Not me.
Lord God Almighty said He put the firmament up there, and He placed the sun and the moon. That's in the firmament.
The firmament means space.
Uh-huh.
That means space.
So it does not mean space.
Yes, it does. He put stars and the moon in the firmament. That's the space.
Why is the sky blue?
You want the scientific answer?
God made it that way.
I want Chris's answer.
Why is the sky blue? But it's dark at night.
The water's above as below. Yeah. Dave, tell me that you've read a science book and you think you know everything. Why am I standing right here right now? It's not gravity. Gravity is a theory. It is most likely that the positive and negativity of the atmosphere. It is, and we assign that to gravity. Start doing some reading, Dave. Don't believe what you're told.
I guess I lean a little bit more towards the globe side. I got to be honest.
I don't lean towards either. I just think that you've got to question both sides. I end up being the one questioning the globe because nobody else will.
And that's kind of where I was going with that. I lean a little more towards the globe side because that's what we were taught. That's everything we learned. But we also learned that the food pyramid was a real thing, and now it's not. So I don't freaking know.
Yeah. That's the perfect example.
What was a real thing and it's not?
the food pyramid. You were taught your entire life the food pyramid. And turns
What's the food-
around
wait a
that,
minute,
that big.
I don't know. What's the food pyramid?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
sure. You know what the food pyramid is. They had it in
No,
every
I
school in
don't.
the country.
What's the food pyramid?
Like milk or like dairy and eggs and grains and breads and meats and like the whole food pyramid. They taught you about nutrition in school. It was all marketing ploy.
Hey, Chad, talk to them same pilots, and they'll tell you they don't adjust for to go up or down based on the globe, and they should fly right off the edge of the globe. So you tell them there might not be an edge, but I can tell you this: they fly like they're over a flat plane. No doubt about it. Go ask every one of them; they'll tell you the same thing. There ain't an edge, but they're also you don't adjust. If you're flying around the globe, you would fly straight off into space.
I don't know, man, Scott. I mean,
Planes make micro adjustments, right?
I don't think there is a
I think the atmosphere and just the pull of rotation in the atmosphere would prevent you from going beyond the atmosphere into space. I think it would be a lot harder to fly off into space than. Again, that's based on what we were taught.
Yeah.
Were we taught wrong? I don't know.
I look. I have literally
Stop putting my worldview, Scott.
personally look. I have personally experienced of sailing around the world 3 times. Not one. Again, I said not one time did I fall off the edge of this berth. It's round. There's no doubt in my mind. You can't. I mean, I believe.
We met you. We know there was side effects.
Oh my God. Thanks for laughing, Brad.
And I thought that was funny.
It was funny. I was picking on you though, Chris. I'm sorry.
What's your intake, Brad? I mean,
I put it out there earlier. I think there's a way to find out without leaving this earth. I will say, just on a different note, every place I've tried to visit on the map works out just fine. So they're not lying about the basics.
That's only where they want you to go, Brad.
That's true. That's true.
They wouldn't put it on a map if they didn't want you there.
I do know one of the things flat earthers say is that supposedly they won't allow you to go to Antarctica, but
I do know one thing.
I've looked into that, and it seems like a lot of people have been there. So
that's another good one. Why did 50
I've never
countries,
been, but I've never been there, so I can't say you can go there, even though.
Why did 58 countries agreed in the 1950s or whatever it was that nobody should go there, and that's the only thing that this world has agreed on the whole time.
but that's not true. Wait a minute. That's not true because the United States Navy has what they call the Arctic cruise, and it goes up into the Antarctica. That's not true at all. We do go up there.
But it's under the treaty, under the auspices of the treaty that was signed, that only the governments can go through there. Regular people cannot go.
I prefer to say down there because I believe the northern hemisphere is superior. So change your terminology, Chris.
Okay, down there.
I'm possibly streaming from the Antarctica right now, being in South Dakota. So I'm there.
Corky Picker says instead of watching videos that support flat Earth, watch videos that disagree with it.
You assume somebody watches those videos. I got more important stuff to watch, like, are we going to catch Bigfoot anytime soon?
Now, see, now look, now that's more believable to me than a flat Earth.
You know, Jane Goodall believed in Sasquatch, apparently.
Who?
Jane Goodall.
Isn't she the one that did like the apes episode?
Yeah.
She is the one that did apes. Yeah. She believes it. Until her dying day, she believes it.
She said it on some interview, and then later interviews, she didn't say it quite so boldly, but she never refuted what she had said earlier. So, and she gave her reasonings for why she believed that. But
were they sound?
I believe Sasquatch is real before I believe the Earth is flat.
Parts of it is flat. I've been to Kansas. Parts of it's flat.
East and South pretty flat.
You get out there to the high plains around Colorado, it's pretty flat.
I don't know. I couldn't put my foot down and say this is true or this is not true on anything anymore these days. It's very hard. I mean, I'm sitting in this metal stool being very uncomfortable with you fellas. That's true. Beyond that, I don't know a lot of nothing because it's very hard to debate anything definitively anymore.
There are so many conspiracy theories out there, so much bull over on the internet. They got half the world believing now that we never touched the foot on the moon.
How do you know we did, Chris?
Because we seen it. Well, I didn't personally see it, but they did.
How do you know?
There's an American flag up there on the planet. I mean, how in the world that get there if we didn't go there?
That was exactly.
There is a telescope that can see that American flag, and you can watch it online. Now, whether that's true or not, but before that even come about, it's been up there. There's been people say that they can see it, with their
There you go. Here's a
microscopes or whatever.
I'll drop that video in the chat. Now, depending on how you want to view it, you could say this proves flat Earth, or you could say this proves globe. But it's just
there's two moons.
It's a 24-hour time lapse of Antarctica.
Okay, so for anybody who Corky Picker, I could probably have a beer with your friend. I'm telling you right now, for anybody who thinks we've been there, Chris, tell me one thing. How do we get by the Van Allen belt? The Van Allen belts. How did we get by the Van Allen belts?
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I don't even know.
That is the radiation belts that surround this planet that would fry your ass if you leave it.
We go up in outer space all the time, Scott. There's a space station up there. Ask them how they get past.
But that's inside the Van Allen belt.
That's inside the Van Allen belt.
It's still further out. Scott's not lying to you. There is a such thing as the Van Allen belt.
Okay, all right, that's fine. But here's something else. I want you guys to think about this. In 100 years, the way all these conspiracies are going, in 100 years, everything that this country and world has accomplished will be void, because the next thing you know, they're going to say there's a multiverse. There's 100 million Earths out there. There's 100 million of each one of us out there. I mean, they're going to use that. I mean, come on. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. It really is.
Well, technically, Chris, if you believe in God, you believe there is something outside of this universe.
I do, but there's not a multiverse where there's 100 million Earths out there. There's not an Earth 27 or Earth 58 where Chris is over on Earth 27 being a multimillionaire, and over on 58 he's over there running a country in the ground. I mean, Chris is not. There's not 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Chris's.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, explain the Mandela effect, Chris.
I don't know what a Mandela effect is.
It's multiverse slippage.
Yeah, I mean, that don't even sound real. I mean, that sounds like something you poop out of your pants.
I think here's the problem. Anybody could say anything that sounded smart for a long, long time, and now you really have to bring receipts. If you're going to make a statement like we've been to the moon, it can't be because the government told me. You got to bring some real receipts nowadays, because there's too much out there, good and bad, crap information, false information. And it's really hard for the average person to bring receipts on half the stuff they were taught as facts for 40 years, because half the shit did turn out to be bullshit.
You remember
one of my favorite videos is about the dude talking about not going to the moon. He's like, "You mean to tell me some bubbas strapped a 454 on the side?" Have you heard that one?
No.
And shot that sucker. And then without anything else came all the way back. I mean, they just go on and on and on. It is the funniest video.
Yeah, I think you remember we had that conversation, Corey, about holding two opposing thoughts at once.
Yes, I do.
That's really hard for people to do. That's why I may stand on one side of an argument or the other, but I can't say as I won't listen to the other side.
I could tell you what
Brad, this
in a lot
follows
of
along the
instances,
same
but
lines. All this follows along the same lines as people saying there's no God, prove me wrong. Well, I mean, all I gotta do is look out my door and I can prove you right. That stuff didn't come from a little bitty tiny rock.
You
No,
see
you can't, Chris.
you see
No, you
incredible
can't.
design. Someone else just sees chance. I mean,
it's statistically near impossible that any of that could be true. But again, you're going to have to decide. It's like one side's going to put the burden of proof on you, and you're going to put the burden of proof on the other side.
That's exactly the statement I just made 5 minutes ago. Like it's getting very. You have to decide what you believe, but at the same time, there is a lot to the statement that the more sure you are, the more wrong you are. The more sure you are about anything, take all the things you've been 100% positive about in your life, and there was no wiggle room in your head about that fact. Those are the ones you end up usually being wrong on. Like it's just that's the way it happens. So it's hard.
I do like to ask the question about everything I believe. What if I'm wrong?
Yes,
You
and
know?
I think you have to. I think that's something humans kind of lost. Everybody's damn sure about everything they know, without just because of who they heard it from. Most times,
correct.
And most times it's hogwash.
I don't know. I just feel like everybody's turning into a conspiracy theorist.
Well,
And
I
before
100%.
long, and before long, you're not going to believe your history. You're not going to believe anything. I mean, is that what they're trying to do? Is just take our history away from us?
Okay, then, Chris, you want me to throw you a real good loop?
All right, go ahead.
If you go to the Capitol building and look at the map of the world, why is Tartaria there? And what the hell is Tartaria?
What?
Tartaria?
Why is the country Tartaria? Why is it there?
Well, what's
Here's
it
another
what's
one.
it called now?
Why is
Scott?
it? Why is the entire country have buildings that midway in the windows on the ground floor, the windows are covered up?
Privacy.
What calls that? That ain't no damn privacy. You don't build houses with the windows.
But wait a minute, though. Wait a minute. What was the country? What's the country called now that used to be called Tartaria?
Russia.
There's okay. So I don't understand what you're.
Most people don't admit Tartaria exists. You just find it on maps because they've done their best to erase it.
Why?
Most people believe that it was an advanced civilization.
They believed that Russia was an advanced civilization.
No, there was an advanced civilization before us that was wiped out.
That's
what the resets are. The resets are society gets too far ahead. It was wiped out and starts over.
It's over here.
They were. I don't know.
You're down that rabbit hole.
Down a lot of different rabbit holes. There's a lot of them out there.
And okay, so Chad, explain this one to me. This is a good one here. In the 15 and 1600s, we have lots of maps of the United States and North America. A lot of it had been surveyed.
Wait, in the 15 and 1600s?
Yes, there are maps of all the there. You go look. There are plenty of maps that have the U.S. and Canada surveyed out and mapped out. How come the Great Lakes don't? The Great Lakes don't.
Lewis and Clark were mapping out this area in the late 17th, early 18th.
Most of the early maps don't show the Great Lakes. How do you miss the Great Lakes?
They're kind of small.
By the way, folks, now that Scott's got his channel back, you can experience a lot more of this content on Friday nights at what time, Scott?
7 p.m. Central.
I want to go ahead and go on record and say this is probably the last episode of Reseller Therapy on Tuesday. We are shutting it down.
Are we?
Well, I don't know. It's a theory.
Oh.
Prove me wrong.
Porky Pickett says they believe in zero conspiracy theories.
I don't know, Chris.
I mean, just think about what you've led to
All right,
believe.
how about we come
Why-
up with a theory of how come RIN didn't have a show this morning?
I will
was the
say
main-
this. I will say this. Being that the term conspiracy theory was most likely coined by the CIA, I feel like I'm just not real solid.
Yeah, so just think about that. Your parents and grandparents,
Just a theory.
what they believe through this world, and a lot of the foundation of what they've taught us came from the news media that was run by the CIA, Operation Mockingbird, and CIA assets. Walter Cronkite, they were Dan Rather, they were all CIA assets, giving you every night exactly what they wanted you to believe.
You think
Even in the
You think Walter Cronkite was the CIA?
You damn right he was.
I think all the programming and all the TVs from the early days on have been controlled by.
So just think about this: if you want to shoot a movie like Top Gun and have access to pictures and media and stuff with the Army, Navy, and everything, the CIA has to approve your movie plot and be on site as you film. There's a reason why. Did you not find it curious that in the 1980s and into the 90s, every movie went after the same big bad enemy? Every movie was bad Russia, the Cold War.
There's a documentary on early Hollywood and how they actually decided what was in the movies and what the agenda of the movies were. And it just kind of subtly, they need more military age men joining the military. Let's put out a bunch of John Wayne shit. Like that was a whole thing. There's a lot of information on that. I don't know.
So what's wrong with movies nowadays? Because they keep repeating the same crap, remaking it over. They don't come out with no good stuff anymore.
Now they want you all gay and purple hair and flying a rainbow flag and not doing anything. I mean, that's kind of the agenda now.
Yeah,
that's perfect. Go watch commercials and see how many white men you see in a commercial.
White man bad.
And count white men versus interracial couples and tell me what you see.
Thank God I'm not white.
I know, right, Brad?
What?
I mean, they're trying to push an agenda. And everybody believes a lot of things because they see it on TV and have been told by a lot of people on TV.
That might be why the world feels so crazy right now, because the agenda has always been controlled and in control, and now with the internet it kind of got out of control and anybody could put out anything. So that agenda gets pretty muddy and things get crazy and nobody knows what to believe. I mean, that probably has a lot to do with why things feel the way they do now.
I mean, do people still believe they forced China to sell TikTok because they're scared of China getting your data?
Well, they China on TikTok no more.
They can't control the information. They can't control what gets in and gets out.
Yep, I do think that has a lot to do with why the world feels the way it does, because they did kind of lose control of the narrative. It's really hard to control populations of people if you can't control the loudspeaker.
There's a reason why if you read the book The Great Reset, it talks about population reduction. The reason why they want to leave so many Chinese is because that population is much more controllable due to what they believe. Don't take my word. Go read the damn book.
I won't read it if it doesn't have dragons in it.
Yeah, better have dragons in it.
I ran out of storage space, Scott. I need to go print some more trays. I can't list the rest of my cards.
So that's my next thing is I think GPT is too nice and too wordy, and I'm migrating to Claude.
You can fix GPT and make it less nice and less wordy. You just have to be very.
What do you mean? What do you mean wordy? What do you mean by that?
I mean, I ask a simple question. It sends me back 4 pages of flowery BS.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get it to where I have my business as a project, and then I use Cowork to crunch a lot of the numbers. Just put reports in and let it crunch numbers.
Do you guys use GPT a lot, like day to day right now?
I use it every day.
I do. I use it every day.
in the last week, it starts calling you by your name.
I don't know. I am paying attention.
I didn't pay attention
did.
to that either.
Every time I give it a command now, it comes back and says, well, Corey, like it started calling me by my name now, and it's never done that before. Like, stop being
cool.
Yeah, I just set up Claude wrong. The files that I gave it access to, I put them on the drive on that computer instead of putting them in the cloud so I can use it on all my computers. So I got to change that setup. But other than that,
Chad, I think that's the truest statement yet. I don't have the capacity to worry about what's true and what's not in this world anymore. I know what's around me is true. I'll worry about that.
Yeah, so, I like to get in these arguments because I usually take the contrarian position, even though I don't really believe any of it.
I wouldn't have guessed that about you.
You got to focus. You got to focus on what you can control. Even with ChatGPT has been, I'm like, you think I should? Sales have been down for 36 hours. Should I run a sale? And it's like, look at the week. The week is this, and this is this, this is this. Do you really think? I mean, it challenges even the way you think. A different view. I'm like if this is a 72 hours, then maybe you think about it, and then it'll correct it. eBay always corrects.
Mine stays pretty well on track because it has my base file to know that eBay is not even meant to be steady in shorter than 90-day spurts.
Right.
As long as it doesn't get too chaotic over a 90-day period, it doesn't get too excited. And it'll usually remind me, like, yeah, you had a crap month. Let's see what the next 2 months are. It's not a big deal because let's see what the 90-day does. And it keeps me on track that way. I don't like we had 2 days this last weekend that were absolutely horrible. It was still our best week in 5 weeks.
Yeah, the same thing. I had a really nice week, best week since the fourth quarter. And one of the days was like 96 on the main store. I'm like, that's just insane.
Tara, I don't believe everybody's sales are down. So I couldn't assign a reason to it because I don't think they are. Ours are up.
Mine are down, like way down.
Ours are, again, I don't think the arguments apply to us because of what we do, but ours are up. Their fourth quarter numbers.
Y'all watch, Brad, I know you were watching it. Did you get a chance to finish watching Trash Cash today?
I did, yes. Yeah, I was actually almost through the whole part before it cut off, I think. So
they went through a lot of different topics, but they talked about reselling being a business or not a business or a side hustle, or they kind of dove into that. I don't think I agree with their assessment either. What do you think?
Have you got a specific? Like, I thought a lot of their stuff was
leaning towards it's a side hustle, and when he quit his job, he put out a video specifically saying that social media is what his money was in, not and the reselling was kind of just a side hustle thing, and it's not.
Yeah, actually, so given context to like Kevin's thoughts on it, he actually had a video about a week ago where I thought he actually described what he did in a way that maybe made sense more than anything else he's done. Like whenever he went full time, as it were, or quit being a school teacher, he didn't quit being a school teacher to be a full-time reseller. He traded his school teacher job for the social media job and continued doing reselling the same way he'd been doing it.
Yep. And I think that gives people a false sense of this can't work. I still maintain that's BS. Reselling pays all of our bills. If I shut everything else we do down, it pays my mortgage, it pays the car payments, and we don't have a cheap mortgage. We live on 10 acres. This isn't a small property.
Nice.
Everything and a decent living, and it is steady and consistent, reliable.
Yeah. I think within the framework that they laid out, I don't know as I totally disagree with them. I don't think that they said that reselling's not a business or a full-time gig. I think the context they were saying it in is that maybe not everyone is suited to make it that way.
Not everyone have to work for themselves at all.
Exactly. Yeah.
Narrow what a
I
business.
think that's the entire framework of the conversation. So with that in mind, I don't think I can necessarily disagree with what they said. If you
We
look
have
at
to
it,
narrow what
I think you're
a
giving them
business is.
you're giving them a lot of latitude there. And I know Brad, you're Brad, so I'm gonna that's fine. I think you give them a lot of latitude on that. I think some of that's unjust latitude though. I watch their podcast too, but I do think they were skewing more towards saying
it's a hustle.
it's a hustle and it's not a full-time living and it really can't be. The reason we get away with it is because of social media. So in that aspect, like Pegasus was kind of right. I think they were kind of pushing that narrative.
You know why they did that?
I think that's systematically false because I'm proof of it. We've been living on it for 4 years and we don't work as hard as people think we do.
Yeah.
I
No,
believe they come out and did that to stay off Pegasus' radar.
I don't
no.
think so.
If you watch
No.
that episode, they weren't trying to stay off his radar.
No, I think if anything, they're trying to get an honorable mention to drive views. they're in the social media game. There's nothing wrong with that. But I do think they had and I think it's because of where they are. Their perspective on it is different than say mine or yours.
But I don't think they like maybe Dave more so than Kevin. I think Kevin kind of put it out there that he knows people who are doing very well just doing reselling. So
And he did lay that out. I think
so maybe like Dave's take probably leaned more towards the hustle thing than Kevin's did.
Yeah,
But Kevin didn't dismiss that right outright.
No, I think Dave's take on his counter to that claim from Kevin was that it is a hustle, and if you got hurt or your hip went out or something, then it's over. Well, that's the same for a lot of business.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same for
if you're a trim carpenter, that's true.
I mean, if you're a dentist,
yeah,
it's the same
true.
for. So
That's
many
true.
people.
Yeah, if you're a dentist and it's your office, and you can't do
You're
it,
a private practice. Yeah, I mean,
you either have to hire somebody else to come in and you carry it on in the meantime.
there's a lot of examples, and I think that the employee part of that they went into a little bit. Well, if you have to hire an employee, what business doesn't hire employees?
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't have an issue with hiring an employee. I mean, if I wanted to free my time up, I would hire an employee. Right now, I don't need to because we only work about 3-4 hours a day.
While we talk, I got an employee over there working.
Right? I got Teresa running to give me a sandwich.
She just made $175 sale. So
There you go.
happy.
Teresa's selling rings while I'm talking to fellas like you.
Yeah, Jacob's listing DVDs while I talk to y'all.
I don't have an employee.
Thank you. Holy crap! Did you get a foot long? It is what it is.
But yeah, I'd have to
Man,
go back.
she made you a sandwich. You're the man.
No, she didn't make one. She got deli sandwich.
Yeah, so that I think that we construe the idea of what a business is too narrow, and
I think people
and
worry
just
too
because
much.
it doesn't look like. I can see Dave's opinion because Dave failed as a full-time reseller, so he had naturally think it's not a business, you can't do it. It's got to be a hustle because I didn't make it.
That's the thing, though. Dave's failed numbers are better than a lot of people's full-time numbers.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, so what have I done? So
I
I've
wouldn't
spent a lot
call
of time
I wouldn't call it
guardrails
failed.
on this thing. I've tried to make it more business-like, but and I'm getting better results, making it more business-like, more what the traditional business looks like. But it doesn't mean that I wasn't operating a business the last 13 years I've been doing this. My YouTube doesn't do anything. My last YouTube check was like $180. Big deal.
Oh yeah, my
Pay for
YouTube
my gas. I pay for my gas.
does nothing as far as income goes. We get that question a lot. Does having our YouTube channel help our eBay store? God no. If it does anything, it hurts it.
What was Carrie's take on it? I remember Dave and now that we talk
I
about
don't know.
it,
David asked that. Carrie's take is always going to be whatever Dave says.
I think Carrie's like down the middle and he doesn't really give a take.
See, all this has started from the craziness. if you start looking into people's past, you start getting a picture. Start reading on the person who started a lot of these questions and go, wait a minute. If you go to Reddit, there's a huge group of people out there that did a crowdfund. He did a crowdfund, and they go, wait a minute, we didn't get what we paid for. You shafted us. Go start doing some reading. Does that mean I can come get a whiteboard and tell y'all what is and what isn't a business? Because people that I crowdfund from think that I'm a crook, but yet because I've got a whiteboard, my opinion counts more than anybody else's.
I do think it's helping. I don't care about the YouTube side of it. Like, it's shaking up the YouTube side of reselling, but right. I do think it's helping the industry overall that he's kind of jumping in and throwing a little term. It's just going to bulletproof it for the future. It makes it better. So I don't mind that people ask questions. I just don't necessarily agree with all the answers, but
I think the biggest thing for me is most people who start these reselling businesses have never been business owners before. So it looks so completely crazy and chaotic because they don't have mentors. I didn't have one. I still don't have one. And so you don't know, most of the time you don't know what you don't know. So the hustle is what everybody sees.
Well, and I think, to go along with that, I think the other thing too is the thing about YouTube is you're watching people's journey. And so if you watched Pegasus' journey from the very beginning, if you had a window into it, you'd watch a lot of highlights. You'd watch a lot of random stuff that he learned from and send him in a certain direction.
You're watching the highlights of everybody's journey.
Yeah.
You don't always see the other
look at the YouTubers too that are come out. There's so many new YouTubers out there, and they're all young resellers and young at the business. And so that's what you're 100%, Brad. That's exactly what you're seeing. You're seeing the journey of people starting and taking ownership of their lives and all the things.
Corey and I talked about this the other week. Corey was talking about, if you could see the stupid stuff he was saying at 23, 24, 25, compared to what he might say today.
Last week.
Right.
Yeah, it's all part of getting there,
Hell, the stupid shit I said 10 minutes ago.
I'll give you a good example of the reselling business side and who should and shouldn't. Teresa's sister got into it. Love her to death. She's a hard worker. Always has been her whole life. She got into reselling, and then within 6 months, she got back out of it for the most part, and she focused on her normal job. And it's not because she's not a hard worker. It's because she's not a problem solver. When a problem came up, her first instinct is to call somebody or look for help, and she doesn't know how to solve problems. And it takes a problem solver to do something yourself. A lot of people don't have it.
I think something on Poshmark.
I think if Pegasus is going to talk about it, I feel like he should supply more information. He's not like how much the startup cost, how much lead time does a manufacturer need on a project?
Selling on Amazon, you mean?
Yeah, just product. If you're designing and building a product.
You want to do an interesting thing? Take his video and put it in Chat GPT or Gemini, because Gemini does YouTube, and tell it, give me an honest assessment of the creator's opinion, and it goes through pretty quick. And that's how all these people who attack him personally, if they'd have done what I did and go, hey, I was going to make a rebuttal video, and then the channel went down, but it was. Man, when you get a different opinion that has nothing in the game and goes through word for word, but it calls BS on both sides. I did it to John in John's video about EIS. I called John. I'm like, if I make this rebuttal video, you're going to hate me.
Hey, look, wait a minute. I want you to back up a second. You said you plug in YouTube videos to who?
Gemini, because Gemini is owned by Google.
All right, so how do you what do you do exactly to do that? Like, how can you use Gemini with YouTube?
I'll give you a quick shortcut. Go to YouTube, open up a video in Chrome. They have the little AI Gemini triangle at the top of the video now. Yeah. Just ask it. That's Gemini.
See, what can it do though? What can it do? How can it benefit us
It
creators?
can summarize the video. You know, it can summarize the video. It can give you counterpoints. You can ask it if it's truthful. You can tell it to run any kind of stuff on it. It's
So, but what I'm saying though is, if the video is unpublished, say it's what is that? Unlisted. Can Gemini still use it to create a title and description for that video?
if you have a link to it, it can. You just gotta put a link in it.
So instead of me copy and pasting a transcript to Chat GPT, I can because that's how I do it now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out is there an easier way than what I'm doing, or I just continue to use, or which one's better? I have heard that there's another one. I think Gemini does better thumbnails than Chat GPT. Is there? I mean, what are your guys' opinions on that?
The cool one to make if you want some wild thumbnails is Whisk, the Google Labs Whisk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been the ones that I've had the last couple. I'll show you one of the ones that's made.
Pexels, I think, is the name of one too that does pretty good.
Oh yeah, it made that one. It made my last one. It made Whisk made that one. I gave it a picture of me. I just took a selfie and said I was wearing this shirt. As a matter of fact, I told it I want to talk about getting my YouTube channel hacked. Put me in front of a computer near a shipping station, and put Bitcoin on the screen. That's what it did. I said, make it a kind of funny cartoon, and it just made it. It made it from nowhere.
Uh-oh. Kevin, you showed up 5 minutes late. We just talked all kinds of shit about you.
Sure did.
You don't have to watch Kevin. You can read Kevin's summary in like 30 seconds.
You're going to want to skip past like minute 40 or hour 40 because up until then we were conspiracy theory. So skip that if you catch the rewatch.
Yeah, we talked about you.
I don't make a 40-minute video.
Yeah,
My last video was 8 minutes, Kevin.
They were forcing me to defend your honor again, Kevin.
What?
That's not true.
That's not true. He wasn't defending you at all. Brad would never defend anybody.
Brad was the largest detractor.
Right?
Yeah, we didn't even get to talk about the tunnels that are underneath the U.S. that you can go from New York to L.A. underground. We didn't talk about any of that stuff.
You talking about the one this weekend? He's got a tunneling company.
Is that the same tunnels that are like under Walmart?
Yeah, and one of the weirdest places I've ever been. Have any of y'all flown in and out of Denver International Airport?
Yeah, I hate that. I used to love that airport. Now I hate it.
The new one is so freaky with all the crazy pictures of mess all over it.
The 200 floors underneath it.
Up until, what was it, 2018? I don't know if they still are, but up till 2018, Denver was the only airport you could still smoke in. They had a smoking area.
My mom's high school had a smoking area.
Hey, Kevin, if you want to come on here and rebuttal what was said, the link is where, Corey? Where's the link at?
Is there anything to rebut?
Yeah, you talked down to Kevin. I mean, you talked bad about Trash to Cash. I think he ought to come in here and defend himself.
Who did that?
Listen,
Kevin, what are you talking about? He's just trying to get you engaged, Kevin.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about this.
Here.
All you're doing
y'all
is
believe in lizard people.
You're ruining your credibility, Chris.
Yeah, you don't.
I'd never had any credibility to start with, Brad. I mean, people are listening to me. Look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. People who listen to me, man, they got bigger issues than what I'm telling them.
Oh no! You can join the link if you want to, Kevin. I think it's up there.
It's in there.
Nobody wants to talk to Kevin.
Yeah, I think out of that whole episode, I think that's the part that got me the most is that the discussion about the reselling side. The rest of it, I didn't care about the rest of it, but that one, I think Dave was off base a little bit on that one. But I think he's telling 100% truth based on his perspective. I just don't think he has all the different perspectives. He's got his perspective. From my perspective, I think he was way off.
Well, now you
So it wasn't Brad, it was Corey. I was wrong.
Well, Kevin actually said comment below if you make $200K a year net from reselling. So he excluded me right away. I don't make that.
Oh yeah, you were right. Yeah.
Let's do a quick recap. The part you probably had contention with, or you may would be that reselling's a hustle, and I think what we landed on was I thought that Kevin was very even-handed with that conversation, even going to the point of saying that he knew people who were doing it very well. Yep. Whereas Dave probably fell more on the side of it's just a side hustle, or mostly a side hustle. But I mean, also part of the conversation is that not everybody is suited to do it.
Yeah, and I think we addressed. I don't have an issue with calling it a side hustle, but by the definition he was using for the side hustle part of it, that would make pretty much a good chunk of the businesses in the country a side hustle. I mean, I think it was a bad definition, and I don't think he did it to be mean. I think it's just that's the definition that kind of Pegasus kind of latched onto, and I think it's a bad definition to begin with, because it would make dentists a side hustle. Yep. It would make doctors with private practices and lawyers a side hustle. It would make, somebody that owned I have an escape room in town. That's a brick and mortar business. It doesn't get more business than that. If I break a hip and can't go in, that one's done too. Is that a side hustle? I don't think so.
I got it.
I think we're confused.
Like there's another way. I think there's another way to look at it. You take a guy like Keith, finished sports flips. I don't know what he makes reselling, but I almost feel like he's in a position where he makes more reselling than he does with his veterinarian job.
Yeah.
Like the veterinarian is the side hustle, probably for insurances and yada, yada, yada. I don't know that to be true. I think
an entrepreneur's ambition is what we're calling hustle. And that is two different. I mean, because the word hustle is not always meant the same as it does now.
Well, it's being used derogatory almost now.
Right.
And it's not. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with a side hustle. I have other side hustles, but there's nothing wrong with a hustle.
I think the other thing they were probably landing on too, I'm trying to remember back on the conversation. I think probably they scared him off. They were kind of combating the idea that YouTube people who resell, or YouTube resellers, are doing it to keep people engaged for their own reasons.
YouTube is a side hustle. Hell,
I'm trying to think that through, like that being Pegasus' assertion that these people try to keep this whole thing going just to prop themselves up, and I don't. There are definitely there's some of those out there. I don't think it's a large majority of them.
I think we triggered somebody earlier with this statement, so I'll be careful with it. But I think that's a stupid statement.
Yeah,
I don't know any YouTuber that has a vested interest in keeping other people down. I think they preach their journey. This is the part I do. This is where I'm at, to help the people that are lower in the journey than they are, or just starting up to a certain point. And then I do think you outgrow YouTubers, but I don't know any YouTuber that's like, well, I don't want you to get bigger than me.
Right.
That's it. That's just a stupid statement.
Yeah. And then there's always you don't know how much of that's just said for effect to maintain viewership as well. So
another part that perked my ears up was the course part. Last week I addressed the courses.
I think
I went off on that one.
They all held your view of it.
I think they came around to it when they first started talking about it. I was like, hang on, But I do think they kind of came around to it. I think
they all were on the opinion of if there was, but if you're going to do that, you better know what you're talking about.
Yep. And you only have to know what you're talking about up to the point where you know more about what you're talking about than the people buying your course.
True. And the people who and people aren't stupid. If they're beyond you, they know that.
And people value their time. If I can save you 6 months of looking stuff up on YouTube to figure out how to get here by putting it in a package and charging you $50, they could do it in a week, but it would have taken them 6 months of trial and error or searching on YouTube and finding, yes, good information, but also bad information and trying to figure out what's good and what's bad. The course has a lot of value. And I think this industry, this reselling niche.
Yeah.
4 years that I've been in it, just completely shit on courses. Every time I hear somebody doing a course, it's a course. Well, of course it's a course. Courses aren't bad. There are bad courses. They don't last.
Of course.
Of course is a course of a course.
I think there was something else too. What was it?
What else did they do? We'll just review the show.
Maybe just pull it up and do a review of it. I think they correctly made the point from what I remember. I'm just going on memory, one pass at it here. And I was working also. That reselling is a good way to like lead to other things. Like for example, years and years ago, Gary V had this thing going on where he was talking about selling on eBay. Now the stuff he's talking about selling was stupid. Like
he still talks about it. I heard him the other day talk about it.
But one of the things he said back in the day was, like if you could make an extra $20,000, maybe the reselling part of it's not something you're interested in doing long term, but it can help you do the other thing you really want to do. And I think they kind of hit on that a little bit, that it's reselling's a good side hustle, as it were, that can lead to other things. So because it's just that there's no barrier to entry. Anybody can get into it, basically.
We've said for 4 years that reselling is not only the simplest, lowest, bottom of the barrel form of business that we've ever been in, but it's also one that has probably the highest profit margin of any of the businesses we've been in. And it is the one that is fastest. If I went broke tomorrow and I had to figure out how to make a living, I'm going straight to reselling first because it builds capital extremely fast for almost no barrier to entry, and it's going to get you funded to be able to take the next opportunity. But in that regard, what you were saying, every business does that. Every business I've been in, between software businesses, hardware, doing the metal fab shop, doing the big e-commerce stores, every business built up to a point where it allowed me to take the next opportunity. So in that regard, every business I've ever done was a side hustle. But it does. If you're not growing, I mean, that's what businesses do. They allow you to, and even in Pegasus' case, if you're making a ton of money with a little effort and you got your time back, that ton of money and the time back allows you to take the next opportunity. Do I think he's going to product develop for the rest of his life? Maybe. But it also lets him do other things.
Yeah, you can get into real estate or whatever.
Yep.
I'm going to the post office.
All right, Scott.
The smartest resellers are working at the flea market.
God, no lag.
Because they're skipping all the tax side of it.
Yeah. Lag says I should do videos about my businesses. I don't think that'd be a good idea.
Why not, Corey?
Because I told Teresa this morning, and it drives me crazy that I have to admit it. When I watch Dave, I see all the worst parts of myself. Like that's kind of what I see in Dave, is all the things about me that I don't care for, with the ADHD and the hyper focus and the jumping from thing to thing. But at the same time, those are what allow me to do what I do. But
It's your superpower,
it is my superpower.
but it can also be your greatest weakness.
It is, because a lot of the businesses that I've ran and scaled to a point where, like, we've run this property, we bought this property from a previous business. It funded it. And we have a mortgage, but we have a mortgage here by choice. We also own our building on the main street of town that was funded from my previous business. And we don't have a mortgage there. We just bought it outright. But all of that was from a previous business that could have been, well, it is a much larger business now that I just got bored of. Like, literally got bored of it. And that's the curse we live with. And I hate that about myself, but at the same time, it lets me do what I do.
So two things. Kevin went back and he's watching it in double speed, he said. And Leroy is in the chat. Hello, Leroy.
Brad's right in his interpretation.
Of course.
Leroy, he was asking what happened to you guys today. Y'all didn't have your show.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Leroy when I got a minute. Where you guys at this morning?
Going on. All right.
If you can share. If not, that's fine too.
You guys let us down today, Leroy. I did get a question, Chris.
Yeah.
I think we answered it Saturday about why we're so inconsistent over here.
Where at? On
Tuesday.
this show?
In this channel, yeah.
What inconsistent are they talking about? Like what we talk about or what?
Not showing up.
Skipping shows.
Skipping shows.
What was your answer? I had to go watch that. What was your answer?
It's all your fault, Chris. That's what he
I
said.
thought it was you.
It ain't all my fault.
Yeah, it is. I told him you just don't care about this show.
That's not true.
Can we even call it a show?
Look,
No.
I was running behind today, and I text Corey like at 1:15, and I says, "Hey, I'm just now finishing up lunch. I'll be there." And then I get a message, "You want to cancel today?" I'm like, "No." I had to call him. See, so it's not all my fault.
No, it is your fault. If
He's
you weren't late, you wouldn't have got that text. You know why? Because
Why?
at 12 o'clock noon, I'm at that desk with the laptop on, and I'm signed into this. 12
yes, you
o'clock.
are.
This starts at 12:30. I'm here. But you're always running mail, getting lunch, showing up just in the nick of time. Don't put it on me. Chris don't care.
Oh, what about Brad? Brad does the same thing.
Hey, I never, unless I'm taking a trip, going to buy stock or something, then I'm here. I'm money.
We know when Brad's going to show up. The show goes live at 12:30. Brad's going to be here at 12:29 and a half.
I don't have any admin access,
But he's going to be here.
but I'll be here. I'm like clockwork.
Same thing Thursday night. Thursday night, he showed up during the beginning credit rolls.
Now, sure, I was having other issues that night, but I was still there before the people saw me, right?
That's right. You did.
Before the people saw it go live.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, but if we have a good load of stuff to go pick up in Texas,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you made a great decision.
it takes two different trips. I'm gonna have
Well,
to do that.
sometimes that can be excused. That can be excused.
Hey,
Like
Chris,
this week, I mean, I'm not gonna have no internet. I might have to do it from my phone if I can figure out how that works.
we're a week away, and he's making excuses already.
That's right. It is every other month, Leroy. Twice this month. Well, no, it's not even this month anymore.
Chris, did you see what I?
John Lucas says this topic should be backroom talk, not in public.
Chris, did you see when I put those shorts out for this channel? We got like 7 or 8 more subscribers.
Really, man,
Yeah.
what were they thinking?
Yeah, we probably lost them today.
We probably we didn't.
Yeah, what was they thinking? So let me ask you. I got a question, Corey, about that. Okay, so we use the StreamYard for that. Okay, is it possible for me to upload a video to StreamYard that I've already made and then do the cuts from there? Are you able to do that?
I don't think so.
Hey, Kevin says send him the link. Where's the link to the show?
What show?
This one.
Leroy, you're welcome back anytime you want.
But you'll have to send it to him. You'll have to put it in the chat.
The link's in the description of the show, Kevin, if you want in. The link is right in the video description.
I gotta go pee. I'll be right back.
Go pee.
No, we can't be. We'll make another short about that one. You
Hey.
want to do one about me?
Chris.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw the link in the.
Yeah, I'll throw it. Let's see. Yeah, give me 1 second, Kevin. Sorry, Kevin, give me 1 minute.
Subscribers versus buyers. What matters the most? Buyers. Are we talking on YouTube or?
What in the world?
What are you having trouble finding it? It's on
No,
YouTube.
I got it. There it is. It's in the chat there.
Yeah, I'd rather have buyers than subscribers on YouTube. And even on YouTube, if we're talking strictly YouTube, I'd rather have viewers than subscribers.
Right. There's the link, Kevin. So with my new video stuff, is there a way that I can upload it to StreamYard and then do the shorts from it like what we've been doing?
No, don't do that. Just go get Opus clips if you're going to do that. It's
Opus
cheaper
Clips.
than StreamYard.
Okay, there he is.
Wait a minute.
I'm not going sideways.
Yeah.
Now that Beard's gone, I'm happy to be on here. You know,
Okay.
I know.
Before we go with this, I got to ask you.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be on the same program with the #1 used Playmobil seller on eBay?
Somebody went live on Dib doing Playmobil last night, and it
Oh,
was
really?
too late. I wasn't going to send you a message. I'm like, this dude went on at like 11, probably went on at night, and like four people in there. And I'm like, I don't know enough about Playmobil. I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, I'm going to tag Brad. I'm like, it's 11:45. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to do that. So anyway, I'm just glad, without Beard, there's 40% less, maybe 50. Brad wouldn't say anything, without Scott, there's a 40% less chance of getting so political that I risk my career here. Corey, Chris, maybe a little bit of that risk.
No, I keep it. I know who I can talk that information with and who I can't. You know what I'm saying?
My take is I don't know enough to know anything. So that's generally my take when it comes to politics and religion. I don't know.
Oh, I love it. Anyway, I was listening at double speed. I wanted to see the slander that Corey threw at me, and then Brad bailed me out. But Corey's wasn't much slander. But I do appreciate it wasn't any really. Huh?
How so? I didn't throw slander.
Brad had look, as you could see in that video itself, I'm pretty particular about. If you watch my channel, I go to great lengths to give context to my context so that people understand, right? So, Brad was right though. I want to argue that it's a business. It is a business. It's businesses at different levels. And I think Dave's mindset is just simply, I don't disagree with the sentiment of what they said at all. I agree with it because for most people who do this, it is not their primary income that they depend on. But that doesn't mean it can't be. And Corey's a great example of it. I mean, let's face it. I make enough reselling alone. If you just minus the social media effect on reselling as well, because people argue, well, you wouldn't make as much reselling if you didn't have a social media, and that is true because I do live sell and there's viewer sales. But throw all that out, throw the social media out, and throw the influence of social media from my business. I still make enough to live. Here's the difference between me and Dave is I require a third of the money to live that Dave does. It's relative to the individial. And so for him,
Kevin, I got a question. I don't mean no disrespect or anything about this.
Sure.
So when you say the social media, do you feel that your business, as the reselling side of your business, you feel that if you didn't have a YouTube, Facebook, and all this other stuff, that your reselling side would still be sufficient enough to sustain your living?
Yes.
Okay.
I got no doubt. Listen,
Yeah. Kevin's probably in the same boat that I'm in though. Like my pastor salary is less than 30,000 a year.
Yeah,
This year it'll top more than 30,000, and Kevin's probably as a teacher was in the 40ish range. Am I right?
So yeah, at the very end, my year 21, I made 42,000. So before that, I made far less. So I was used to living on nothing, and I supplemented that whole time. Everything but my very first year of teaching, I supplemented with reselling, and then and that grew. So you put the two together, and I was living on between 60,000. In those early years when I didn't know what I was doing reselling, I'd make 15 grand or whatever. And then I could get it up where I was making 20 or 30 by the time I was done. But before I picked up a camera, I was making more reselling than I was teaching.
Let me ask you, you have more perspective from how Dave thinks and how Dave does things than anybody here.
Mm-hmm.
Dave is not a stupid guy. Dave is smart. If Dave put half the energy in, if Dave wanted to make reselling a full-time thing, Dave could make reselling a full-time thing even at his expense level. We don't live cheap. And I know I've heard
you underestimate his expense level, but I hear you.
3 different channels about the insurance thing and having to have the extra job for insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Our insurance is incredibly expensive. We pay it out of reselling. Our mortgage is not cheap. We pay it out of reselling. Our car payments aren't cheap. It's all out of everything we do is out of reselling. The other things that we do are supplemental. Those are the extra income to do what we want with. But I think if you're a problem solver and you decide you want reselling to be full time, I think that's the crux though. You have to be a problem solver and you have to want to do it. If you're not a problem solver, there's no business you're going to make work.
I'm of the opinion that if Dave put all of his energy into reselling, he'd make more than all of us.
I know he would.
Yes. So yeah, I've actually had a conversation with him, so I don't mind putting words in his mouth since he does it to me all the time. Dave, there's zero doubt in my mind Dave could make $150,000 plus net income in his first year of doing nothing but reselling. I have zero doubt. Now, the question is that enough for him? That I just would have to leave up to him to answer. It would be more than enough for me. Well,
we don't. If you moved him away from the theme parks, like if you put him in the center of the country, where
he'd find a new vice.
It might be.
He just moved back. So yeah, you're right. And I say this all the time. But I think Dave also knows he's a different kind of character, right? And so we're talking to different folks out there. We're talking to grandmas, we're talking to housewives and stay-at-home dads, and it's just so relative. That's part of the problem with some folks that want to come out and give concrete answers. I'm all for concrete answers and right and wrong and giving advice. I'm all for it, but it doesn't apply to everybody the same. I don't care. That doesn't, I did a video today about loans, right? That's that whole thing started. If you're watching his channel and and the eBay loans and this and that, it's my mindset is it is foolishness to be taking out loans to do reselling the way that I do it. Foolishness on multiple levels, especially because what Corey said earlier was this is the least risky. You want to call it a side hustle, call it a business, call it what you want. Lowest level entry, you got to put the time in and grow it, but you don't have to put any skin in the game, hardly anything. We're talking, what's in your wallet kind of skin in the game to get it to ramp up.
After learning reselling, this has kind of become our piggy bank. It really has. Every time I want to do something, which is often because I'm just as ADHD as anybody and I go off on weird adventures. Every time I want to do something and try something, this funds it. I just go, okay, we need to go buy a load because we need $5,000 to throw at something we shouldn't be doing. So easy to do with this. It does become a piggy bank.
Yep. I think it's important. I talked about this in that video today too. It won't come out for a while. I'm not shilling it. But, if, how do I say this? I don't want to get any more trouble. I'm sure there'll be a Pegasus, I have no doubt, reaction and all that. I don't want to. What's that?
You said his name, it'll show up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's fine.
Like Beetlejuice. He's like Beetlejuice. If you say his name 3 times.
Which is fine. Look, and I agree with Corey's sentiment. Like, it's not like there's not a place to do this kind of thing. right? And to be critical of people and to, as iron sharpens iron, I'm all for that. And I'm all for him doing it. The issue really was with, I don't even know. I don't even know what I wanted to talk about a second ago. I was talking about this video. I was talking about debt. This is something that people can do. Almost anybody can do it to start whittling away if they have debt or to stay out of debt. This is not the debate that, some folks are having about going into debt to ramp this thing up is just blows my mind. It's like, if there's any business in this country, this is the one suited to not having to do that at all. You don't have to lease buildings. You don't have to rent buildings. Some people do for storage and whatever, but
we've started some fairly large, by large, I mean large investment-wise businesses to where we had to borrow capital.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like the metal fab shop, we ran that out of my garage. We built a second garage to attach to that garage. We ran an entire machine shop in that neighborhood to the point where the electric company shut us down and made us buy an entire transformer for the rest of the neighborhood. But when we did that, to upgrade our equipment when we outgrew what we had because we had the orders backing it up, we had to get capital to do that.
Yeah.
And we had to borrow that. And even that was the only, and we had the orders to pay for that, but we didn't have the money yet because we had to make the orders. Even that was borderline. We were like, I don't know, like this is going to be, because it is. I mean, when you borrow money for capital to grow a business, you better be damn sure.
You're exactly right. And there's a place for it. But that's what makes this so different. That's why I advocate for so many people with zero skills. I'm not doing some metal fab. I'm not building. I have zero skills like with my hands, right? For those people that are doing a job that's not making a ton of money, this is, when somebody like Pegasus will come and I'm not necessarily saying he tears it down, right? It's this dichotomy where you've got this choice. Like, well, is this a better option? You have to present the problem, right? You're trying to do this to make money. This is a better option. Okay, well, that's fine. I can play that game with any profession. This is a better option. Why are you building, sheds for somebody when you could be building skyscrapers? I mean, this is a stupid argument. This is dumb. Of course there's better options for
I have zero skills. I qualify.
You got beautiful hands, though.
We do watch quite a bit of his videos when he puts them out, and it drives Teresa crazy because inevitably there's something he says in the video that makes a lot of sense.
Of course.
I mean, almost every video he says something that I'm like, okay, that's actually kind of thought-provoking, and I kind of agree.
Yeah.
But then there's also something that he has systematically cherry-picked from someone else and taken it out of context, and I'm like, hold on, that's not what they said.
Yep.
Or I'm like, hold on.
Even if you agreed more with him than the other person, I can't get over that hump.
Yep. I mean, Teresa, every time I turn the video on, she's like, don't yell at the TV. Because every time.
Sounds like you're an expert at politics if you yell at the TV.
I'm not going to make a video about it and call him out on the things he did wrong because frankly, I just don't care enough. Like, I know what I do works. I'm fine.
Exactly. And so there you go. You just said it, right? And I often say, hey, you got to figure out what works for you. And I heard him say the other day, oh, that's just a cop-out. People are coming to you for advice or doing whatever. I'm like, wait, listen. Advice is most appropriate when you know the context of the person who's asking the advice. Everybody's in a different situation. It's not a cop-out. Well, if you give me one person, if Dave asked me something, Dave asked me this, I'll just say this. He asked me, should I go full-time? Should I quit my job? And I knew how much money he made, and I knew, whatever. My advice to Dave was yes, 100%. It would not be my advice for 95% of people who asked me that question. It was a yes to him, and I told him specifically, I said, look, you're so talented and so able to do so many things that you will find something eventually that will pay all your bills. I said, it may not be the reselling, it may not be the picking, and he has. That's exactly what's happened.
Actually, I think anybody that asked that question, the answer should be the same. It's probably no. when I finally said I wasn't going to punch a time clock for any other human being again, and unless it was an emergency, I wouldn't. When I got to that point, I didn't have to ask the question. I was going to go make my own money. And I think it's once you lose the perspective that a job means security, once you've had the rug pulled out of under you by a huge layoff or something, and you're like, oh, big companies can go bankrupt too. All of a sudden, if you're a problem solver, you can make your own money and be just as stable, if not more. I think that's when a lot of people make the shift. But if they're asking, should I quit my job? The answer is probably no.
Probably. And I agree with that. But like I said, that's not the advice I gave to Dave. The answer was yes for Dave. And I guarantee you he doesn't regret it.
I don't even like to say that. Dave is a lot like me in terms of how he approaches things and his hyper focus and getting 12 weeks worth of work done in 12 hours. Like he and I share that. And it's one of my worst traits, but it also is what lets me do what I do. And I know that if we shut this down tomorrow, I'll start an orange stand or something. Like I'll figure I'll make money. I'll have a whole nother business tomorrow.
I'm not quite like that. I wish I could say I was. And I think it's my fear that I don't have the skills that some other people have. I really don't. I have some skills, but they're not the kind of skills that are necessarily money-making skills. I would figure something out for sure. But it was easy for me.
Boiled down to skills. I didn't have the skills to start half the businesses that we started. I was like, that looks interesting. And I watched.
Yeah, but there's also some people are naturally, because of their personality makeup or whatever, they're more risk adverse. And you're way less risk adverse than most people I know, Corey.
Tim's a prime example of that. He has 3 businesses in his back pocket he could start tomorrow that would be super lucrative for him. SSK Pro 10.
Oh, Ken, yeah.
But he's the kind of personality that is very risk adverse, and he wants he wants a guarantee that it's going to work, but that's not business in any industry. There is
I lean towards that. I mean, that if I'm being honest with myself, what made it easy for me to take the risk is what I was leaving and the ease of returning to it. I mean, I was making no money doing something. I mean, I could it could all fall apart tomorrow. I walk back in there and I get a job and nothing changes. So that was easy for me. It's not like it's not hard to go out and make 45 grand a year, being a teacher, which is probably what I'd be making at this point, I don't know what I'd be making.
I have a little bit of gypsy blood in me. I don't mind starting over. If I had to sell everything on this property, including the property, and go get an apartment tomorrow and start a new business, I'm okay with that.
You got a wife like that is the question.
I have a wife who's willing to let me be like that. She is not like that. That bothers her, but
well, she trusts you then. That's good.
I retired from teaching making 52 grand, Kevin. What's wrong with
say it again?
I retired from teaching making 52 grand. What? And that was 18 years ago. What?
We went through.
Does your state just hate teachers? They won't pay you?
It's not about the state necessarily. It's about the area in the state. Like I could have gone to Northern Virginia and made way more money, but the cost of living up there is literally double, right?
Yeah, so, Todd. You taught when the Statue of Liberty was still just a little girl, Todd. When things were like
Todd, I was teaching the kids how to ride pterodactyls.
Yeah, I'd probably be making 55 at this point,
Y'all are horrible people. I hate all of you.
I love you and your hand, Todd. Your sexy hand.
I just stack up that silver, and you should, man. I don't even know why you're doing anything right now. I know you got just mountains of cash sitting right there. Just take it. Go have some fun.
God. Because I paid a plumbing bill yesterday of $483.
Hey, that sounds cheap.
Well, it was not a great big job, but oh my God. Why didn't I go into plumbing when I left high school? That was a stupid decision on my part,
I wish, I homeschool my kids. I wish that I had those kind of skills and I could learn them. I guess it's an excuse to say I can't, but that's not what I'm naturally offended. That's, it's not natural to me. My dad, I didn't even learn how to change oil in my car growing up. So
I did go down the plumbing path at one point, and I could give you several reasons why you shouldn't.
100K.
100K.
And I'm
I'm
only
not.
here. I know my youngest just graduated with her teacher's degree and got her certificate. And immediately she found out she could make probably 30% more doing daycare than teaching. Like it's no contest.
You live in Martha's Vineyard, Eric?
Yeah. No doubt.
He says he lives in a town around 7,000 people, and he's making 100K teaching.
Good Lord.
That's crazy.
I need to move up there and we'll all go there and create courses.
Yeah. There you go.
All
Hey,
right.
look. Hey,
I gotta let y'all go, y'all. I got some folks here that
Oh,
I
you
need
got to
talk
sell
to.
some honey and choke out some dogs.
You listen to too much trash to cast.
I know.
All
We'll
right,
see you
man.
later, Kevin. Thanks for stopping by.
Hey,
Keep
see
a
y'all.
pineapple warm
I don't
for
even know
me.
how to get out of this thing. I'm just
Keep
A pineapple.
How exactly you keep a pineapple warm, Todd? You can't sit on it.
You got to rub it.
You can. You just got to build up a callus.
Hey, look, it's 4:00. That was the phone call that I've got to go. So I'm gonna run.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was late, and now
I
you want
see how you are, Chris. I come in the show and you making excuses to leave. I see
No,
how
I
you
would
are.
never do that. I would never do that, Todd.
just
I'm
did it.
I'm just waiting on the hand to make an appearance on Thursday night too.
Oh my God.
You should talk to Brad this week because I probably will not be on Thursday night. What, Corey?
on Thursday. Don't do that. I got too much for you, Todd. Don't do it.
Hey, I got to run. I got to go.
I didn't know I was welcome over on Thursday nights.
Yeah, I got to pay. I got to go pay the fella his portion of the video game haul. So,
all right, are we ending it here?
I don't know if you are or not. I mean, you don't have to. I mean, y'all do good without me.
Chris, we're nothing without you.
Oh my God, man! Thank you. You touched my heart.
Quick, leave before he changes his mind.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Well, we'll call it a day. It seems as good a place to wrap it up as any, except for now I feel bad because Todd just got here.
Yeah,
That's
so
all
you
right.
have to stay on for at least another 30 minutes for Todd. Talk business with Todd.
I can go take a nap now. I'm not
Talk gold and silver with him.
I'm not butt hurt or anything.
All right, Todd, you got to show up earlier next Tuesday. If we have the show, if Chris decides to show up,
Well,
jump in earlier. It's just Chris. He's not reliable. He's just
see, look, guys. If they don't have a show, don't. They always blame it on me, but that's not necessarily true.
not
They got
necessarily-
other people. They got other people. There's normally 3 other people here, at least 2 besides me. So I'm not the only person here that can you know.
There you go. Leroy started stacking.
Yep.
Yeah, he did. I remember
Leroy said he needed another week off. Maybe he'll show up next week.
small meth town in Illinois. That's pretty
Hey,
much a small town in Illinois.
Leroy, we weren't talking about 25 ounces of tools.
Hey, we just sold a whole like 12 pounds of silverware, like just scrap silverware. Somebody told us to bundle up our silverware and start selling it in bundles if it's mismatched stuff, and that's been working out pretty good.
Yeah. All right, I've got to run.
All right, man.
All right.
We will catch you next week.
I will see y'all guys next week, man.
Later,
See you,
Chris.
Later.
All right. God, I'm glad he left.
We talk about Chris now.
Yeah, you retired making $52,000 as a teacher, and now you sell $52,000 watches. How's that feel?
Not quite that much. The most expensive watch I've sold was $6,800.
Holy crap!
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, all you have to do is do that 9 times, and you've already made more.
I know.
I don't know if we've sold some expensive watches, but I'm talking a few hundred, not a few thousand.
Well, I kind of lucked into it. I did a personal buy.
Yep.
What do you call it? A pick?
Private pick?
Private pick.
pick. Yeah. And yeah. You want to see a picture?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Let me see.
That's a coin.
How do you screen share? Let's see.
Could be a little screen with a plus on it.
I'm working on it. Okay.
Oop, there it is.
There it is.
That's crazy.
Those are the Masonic symbols,
That's cool.
and it's on a pocket watch.
That's
I like
sweet.
that. What kind of watch was it?
It's a pocket watch. Let's see. Here's the
brand
front of it.
Whoops.
It was
Right.
called Dudley.
Dudley.
He was kind of a private. I mean, what do you call it? A one-off watchmaker.
Okay.
So very, very rare watch, and I was able to get it from a private pick.
Yeah,
You can see.
Any worries about shipping a $6,000 watch? No, I'd ship it. Did you pucker up a little when you had to ship that?
Yeah. I like. Can I put double insurance on this? Yeah.
Do you use post office, ground, UPS, or FedEx, or something else?
United States Postal Service.
All right. Ground Advantage. Here we come.
So there it was. Okay.
I think the most we ever shipped at one time, and we did it several times, but I think the cards, when we were shipping them in the cases of like $2,800 boxes of cards, those they do make you a little nervous. I think I'd be lying if I said they didn't make you a little nervous, but we never had it.
That was the most expensive thing I've ever sold reselling.
Look, there's Leroy. There's Leroy.
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 You missed Kevin and Chris, Leroy.
Back again.
Or Leroy was waiting until Chris left before he joined. What is he doing?
What you doing with your thumb there?
If I had to guess what Leroy's doing, he's probably eating.
No. Got a little bit of my sandwich left if you're still hungry, Leroy. It was good.
I don't think he can hear us.
Maybe.
You can't hear us? Uh-oh.
Here's. Can you hear? He froze?
No, he's not froze. I just don't think he can hear us.
Oh. Hello, hello.
Can you guys hear me?
There we go. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys now.
Okay, we're fixed.
I just can't see you.
Can't see us.
Blink or Leroy
No,
if you can hear us.
All right. I think I'm good. What's going on?
What's happening, mi amigo?
We're just trying to have a show
Not
where
much.
we see
What's
if we
up,
can
Corey?
cover every topic that there is to cover in one show.
Well, we
We're
covered the gamut today.
We're about halfway there, I think.
Is there
Chris is going to be mad. Everybody came out when Chris left.
Is there any more controversial topics that we can cover? Like more controversial than what we've already done?
Yes.
I like the Pegasus Lounge argument to arguments. God, I'm sounding like Chris. But yeah,
What's your take on it?
that except that he's a hole. He just does that for views, and
Yeah, that's my take.
kind of kudos for that. He's very well spoken. I mean, he uses big words and everything. So, I get his ideas and points, but he just a butthole the way he does it.
My take was, and this is what I said to him, is I think it could be way more effective. Like, there's kind of a rule in communication. You never unnecessarily give up influence. I mean, there's some things you have to say that are going to cost you some influence with some people, but don't unnecessarily give up influence. I feel like he could be a lot more. If he really has something to share, his net could be a lot wider, but he narrows his reach because of the way he does it. But I also feel like he's done that because, well, it maybe kind of sold out for clicks. I can't think of a better way to say it than that. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way, but
Yeah.
Dave kind of said it on the video, is that it feels like he probably does it because it's, like the numbers where you just do the whiteboard stuff. Maybe he doesn't have the personality to hold people's attention. That's what Dave said, I think.
Well, I know I don't.
So
there is something to be said about jumping into a community and disrupting. Like that can be a really good thing. But I don't think it's a bad thing that he's here either. I think it does the community more good than bad. So I don't have an issue with that. But anybody, and I say this, I'm not going to do this, but I do think anybody could go to just about any large content creators' videos and find something to pull out of that video and say, this is full crap. This is the right way to think about it, especially if you're just pulling a chunk out of context of the video. Like, I think anybody could do that. So I think it's like a jump scare. If you run escape rooms, a jump scare is considered kind of a cheap thrill. It's the lowest form of a thrill in an escape room as a jump scare or a haunted house. It's kind of a cheap thrill to do that. It's a very lowbrow way of doing things.
Yeah. I think the other thing there too is, is that even what that person says on that one video is not the entirety of
yeah, that's what I mean by pulling it out of context.
Yeah, I mean, but even like with a single video, like there's context over time with people.
God. Teresa and I were talking about that the other day. We saw in his comments somebody said do grams and pops. And I'm like, Jesus, don't do that. Because if you go back in our videos and then look, even a year ago, we don't believe the stuff we were saying a year ago. It's no longer valid. It changes. We evolve. So if you go back, you'll find stuff that we said that we were pretty convinced was right. And at the time, it probably was. But now it's no longer a smart thing to say. And I wouldn't say it now. But what do? Go back and take down that video and be like, well, this isn't true anymore. Well, it was at the time. So I don't know. If you're going to go back and pick out videos, of course, I mean, I think his argument would be, I'm doing the newer videos. I'm doing the videos they're doing now. Well, great. But you're still kind of pulling that out of context. To answer Kat, no, he's not like Heck and Steve. Heck and Steve is pretty much parody. I think Heck and Steve even admits he's parody.
Yeah.
He's not serious. He's just playing a jackass on TV. He's not probably is one in real life. He's probably
doing it for comedy.
Yes.
Which honestly, I think sometimes Pegasus stuff can kind of feel that way, especially some of the newer stuff. It's starting to feel more like comedy than.
Yep.
But
hey Corey,
the net positive for the community overall, I think it will have a net positive. What's up, Leroy?
I have something to talk about.
Okay, let's do it.
I've been on timeout and on vacation. Your background looks different now. I remember the last time I was watching you had taken down an area. I believe this is not the area that you were taken down behind you, but I'm not sure.
No, I was taking down our old photo booth area. I could show it to you. So our old photo booth area is this area that we redid in like a Fallout theme.
It wasn't that area. There was boxes and shelves that looked like bookcases behind you.
I looked in the pictures.
back here.
Okay.
This is all. This used to be shelving. Now it's just a mess.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Now you can kind of see
What other pieces? The other railing?
we have everything in the rows now.
Well, those shelves are new. Those black shelves are new, right?
Yeah, these last 4 shelves on the end here, and these 4 shelves, they're all new. So
Okay.
there's a whole lot more in here than what used to be in here. We've added capacity for, I think, almost 90 more totes than what we used to have.
Nice. I have a question. Seeing that, I have a question for the whole panel, including Todd and anybody in the chat. Closed storage bins or open storage bins?
Closed.
I do closed. Just to keep dust down. Some of our items are going to be here a while. I just want to keep dust off of them.
I'm like, I don't care either way.
Silver's worth the same amount, even if it's dirty.
Even if it's dusty.
Not right now. It's not. They messed up. They jacked. Don't get me started with silver. They jacked it up so bad. They jacked it up so bad that if you went to go take, if they're telling you that it's $93 an ounce, and you go to bring some silver in, I haven't, but I listen to a lot of channels now. You go to take it in, you're lucky if they're giving you 82. They've jacked it up so bad that now these guys are like, oh, you know what? Oh, well, it just fluctuates too much. We're sorry, we can't pay. Before it was almost honest and Todd, you can double back me or tell me to shut up when I'm done. But before, I felt like it was a little more honest than it is now, because now I feel like they've messed it up so bad that these guys are now taking an advantage of people that are selling it. It was good for the first 15, 25 days, and now they're just, oh, well, we don't know if it's going to go up or down. It fluctuates so much that they're not following the standard.
You never know if it's going to go up or down.
It is them protecting themselves, Leroy. And I don't blame them. They have to do that. The dealers. Are you talking about coin shops?
Yeah, like coin shops or melts, any of them. I feel like before, like if they would be like, okay, everybody would be like, hey, we're paying $3 on the spot, right? Mm-hmm. Now some of these guys are paying $5, $15 on the spot because they're blaming that the market goes up and down so bad, and I just think it's wrong.
Look what silver did today, Leroy.
It dropped bad.
It dropped almost $7 today.
Yeah.
So if you went in to sell it yesterday, how's the dealer supposed to protect himself from a drop like that? So he has at the volatility in the market right now, the dealers have to offer way lower than the spot price.
Do you think that it should be a standard? Do you think it should be 5% spot, 5% on the spot, or do you think that it can be whatever they want?
I don't think it could be 5 under spot if spot moves by $20 a day.
I mean, every dealer sets their own price. So if they want to buy it at spot and take a chance on going under, I don't know.
I just think it's crazy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Where are you selling, Leroy?
They've got to protect themselves.
We've been selling those on eBay. And
I'm not selling. I'm not selling at all. I just started. I'm dumb to sell. Why am I going to sell when I've been buying it at 75? I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to make no money.
Right.
Yeah, we're not buying at silver prices anyway. We're buying in lots of junk jewelry and pulling the gold and silver out and selling.
Exactly.
So we're selling ours on eBay, but we usually figure out what spot is and then we price 10, 20 below that, and then we run it on a 7-day auction, and we're getting good prices out of it.
That's a good way to do it.
I mean,
Because people are buying silver.
Yeah, they're buying at crazy prices too.
Oh my God, go look at Whatnot. Go look at Whatnot. It'll make you throw up. Spot right now is $86 or something like that. On Whatnot, they're selling generics right now as we speak for $110.
And it's the same with my local auction that ended Sunday. 1 ounce silver pieces were selling for $110 a piece.
Crazy.
Every one of them.
Yeah, it didn't matter if it's a mint or if it's generic.
Didn't matter.
Yeah, we're just putting ours on the scale, and whatever it weighs, we figure out spot and run it on an auction. And we've done good on everything, gold and silver both. We've done fine on. I know one thing. I'm not worried about stacking it. I'm getting rid of it while it's high. I ain't got no use for it. But I don't know enough about the gold and silver market. Like I'm not, and I don't want to learn it. So right now is the time to get rid of it for us.
I've been paying attention to it a lot, and I've heard stories of people that I know that when it went up to 45, 50, I mean they dumped 100 ounces, and then it went up to 120, and they were like, oh man! But you got to think about it. If you bought it at 19 and 17. Then you did excellent. Like, don't beat yourself up over it.
Yeah, you could sell it at 120 and have it jump to 220, but it could just as easily drop 220. Like it could drop to the floor. So it's never going to be worthless, but it can. This is definitely a historical high, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, this feels like a very inflated market. Seems like it's trying to sell.
Well, when it hit $120 an ounce, that was the historical high.
Yep.
Now it's
did you release, Todd? I mean, you don't have to answer this. Nobody's business, or not even mine. But did you release at all between 50 and 120, or you just been keeping it? Did you release any of it?
Nope. Well, no. I sell sterling on eBay in the form of jewelry.
Yeah.
And I've got an expensive piece on the eBay right now. You want to see?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the distinction too. That's the only kind of silver we have. We don't have coins or mint. Like all of ours is like scrap.
Let me share the screen here.
Oh yeah, I remember you.
This is 124. No, it's like 130 ounces of silver.
That's crazy.
What percent silver?
It's 0.925.
925. It is 925.
Sterling. Yeah.
I'm wondering, would that sell better if you parted it out?
Maybe.
It'd be less of an investment, and then people could come snag it up.
Maybe.
Your time selling it that way. I think that's probably how we would have listed it individually, because there's so much.
The problem with sterling right now is so many people, when the price of silver jumped up, they flooded the refiners.
Yep.
And so the refiners
stopped taking it. Yep. They still trying to catch up, Todd.
And they probably, the market probably won't settle out for another year. It shot up so hard, so fast, Leroy, that it's going to take probably a year for everything to settle out.
This sounds like a new YouTube channel for Todd. He could start his own refinery in the backyard.
Well, it's crazy.
I'm not that ambitious, Corey.
And you just have burned hands showing up.
I know.
In 2016, I bought a gold chain that I don't wear it out a lot. And I went to New York. I bought this chain. I broke up with a girlfriend. Here's the real story. As I broke up with a girlfriend, I never had, at that point, I had never bought an engagement ring for anyone. I figured I'd never find anybody else. So I said, I'm going to buy myself an engagement ring. I was doing eBay at that time. I was doing eBay and the flea market and everything. And I just kept my money for like 4 months. And my brother and I made a day trip and we went to New York and I went and bought a, it's 59 grams of 14 karat gold bracelet. I'm a necklace.
Wow.
And I bought it for $1,800. Well, right now I could push it out the door for 55.
Yeah.
Even right now. And I need a new van. And I want to it was a gift for myself or something I really liked, but I don't wear it. I'm afraid to wear it and I'm afraid to keep it in my house. And I need a new van. And it's like, do you just push it over, Leroy? Or do you just keep worried about a necklace? What do you do?
You don't want to ask me that. It'd be gone already. It had already been sold. I'd be driving that necklace.
I mean, that's up to you.
I'm
I
not.
don't have to sell that tea set to keep my lifestyle up. So
Yeah.
it can just ride at the highest price that I can go for.
Yeah.
But
It'll sell faster if you promote it, but
oh, I hate your guts.
I couldn't see the numbers, Todd. What were you asking for it? 11,000?
Yeah.
And that would or will be my best, my most expensive sale on eBay, but I don't.
Oh my God.
not
I'm
worried
afraid
about
to
it.
know what 11,000 would get you back in fees. Because I've sold something for almost $5,000 and I almost threw up.
Yeah, it hurts when you have a big one like that.
Yeah, it's 15%, right? eBay, you can always count on 15%.
Whoops. 11,000. Whoops. I got to learn how to type.
I did have an offer of 8,200 for that set.
I'll tell you something, Todd, Corey and Todd. I would have took it. Corey would have took it.
Oh yeah, I'd have stole Teresa's laptop to hit accept.
But it depends on what you got into it. If you got $5,000 into it, then you can't do that.
I think you did buy that. I mean, you paid up a little for that, didn't you?
5,500.
That's what I
Oh,
thought.
he did. Okay.
But
Worth it.
had I sold it at the $8,200 offer, it would have been a big profit.
It would have been 4,000.
Yeah, you just paid about 1,200 in fees.
Yeah.
Nah, 1,100 something in there.
Yeah.
It sure would have felt good though.
I know. And it's it's sitting over there on a shelf. It won't fit in my safe.
Just take it out every week or two and polish it a little bit. At least you get some.
Listen, you could have a diamond ring on the table that's worth $800, or that sitting up on the shelf. Some of these crooks are so stupid that they would take the ring and walk right by the $10,000 worth of silver. He said, "I do have one on my desk."
Yeah.
I can't see around your surroundings. I promise, Todd.
I think the ring that Teresa just sold with that 14K ring or 18K ring that she just sold for $6 something. I think the whole top of it was like a heart shape and it was all diamonds. And she put the diamond tester on it. Like they're all small stones, but they're all real. So I think there's more value than, and we sold it at Gold Spot. So whoever gets it is getting the diamonds for free.
Well, that's what they do now. Unless you got a certificate for the diamonds, they're trying to push the cheapest out of you they almost want those diamonds for free. And what they do is they stack them up and then they sell them to somebody and they still make money out of them. But they're telling you it ain't worth nothing and they're getting free money and it pisses me off.
I do have the certificate for that ring.
Oh, nice. Well, you could just put the diamond tester in the video on the product, and you can see they're real diamonds. But yeah,
is that on eBay, Todd?
No, not yet.
No, eBay will bring you. You can get some money out of diamonds on eBay.
See, this is when we needed Kevin in here talk about whether this could be a real business or not. Todd's making so much damn money, he doesn't even have to list diamond rings when he has them. He just puts them on the desk because they're shiny and pretty. He's like, I don't need the money.
I do need the money. I just paid a 800 and
got that damn plumber to pay off.
I know. And knee surgeries and eye surgeries and yeah. Living is expensive.
It does get expensive.
I would be
I gotta run, guys.
I'd be richer if I was dead.
You guys take care.
You leaving, Leroy?
Yeah, I gotta run.
All right, man. Thanks for popping in.
I'm gonna tell him check his mailbox.
Check his mailbox. What's in his mailbox?
I sent him some stuff.
Oh, his physical mailbox.
Yeah.
His email.
It hadn't been delivered yet, though.
Wow.
Anyway.
Yeah, behind the bubble wrap, do you have some sterling belt buckles?
Yep. We had some and we sold them on the dollar auction. I'll tell you what, I wish we had them when the silver went up like that.
Yeah.
Because they were heavy, solid 925 belt buckles. Like they were nice.
You couldn't time that though. I've been buying silver and gold for 15 years. And you couldn't time that. This time last year, silver was $35 an ounce.
I think those belt buckles had the retail tags on them for like $299 a piece. I think we sold them for 70 or 80 bucks a piece on the dollar auction. And then at silver price, if they'd have been $300-$400 belt buckles, easy.
But hey, if you made a good profit, that's good enough.
We did. Yeah, we did. We didn't get hurt on them at all. I think we picked them up for $5 or $10 a piece. We didn't pay a lot for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge profit.
Yep. We're very aggressive about shit not staying here anymore. Like that's one thing we both agreed on is if it's here, it's got to go. It's on a ticker the moment it walks in here.
Yeah, well, for me, it depends on what it is. You know,
it would have to be something pretty special for me to say I'll hold that for a year or two.
I have got a ton of stuff to get purged. I need to just fill up a dumpster.
Teresa's been running 50% off sales on everything that ages past the 1 year mark. She's been doing really good with those sales. Every week we put a bunch out from those. And the thing is, at 50% off, we're still making a profit on most of it.
But I look at some of my orders, and I've got stuff that's selling that I've had for 5 years. Yep. It's
but
great.
I mean, we kind of got to the point where, like these totes on this side, every tote we have, and I think we're up to like 140 totes or something like that. Every tote we have should be making about $30 a month per tote. And if you have something filling that tote up for 2 years and not moving, then it's not holding its weight. So we got to, like the shelf space.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
And we've had a lot of big stuff that sat for a long time, and it just drives me crazy. I don't like to do that anymore.
You're running a real business.
Well,
and I'm not.
We're playing one on TV. I don't know if we're actually doing it. But we try. We ain't starving.
Yeah.
We ain't buying caviar either.
You could be.
We could be. You get the cheap stuff.
Brings us back to the point. How many people do you know that are full-time resellers?
I know personally. I know 3 that are
Three?
full-time. Like that's all they do is this. I know 3 that I know in our personal. I don't know about YouTubers. There's a few that I think are, but I'm not positive. But I know 3 personally.
Yeah, like James Helferstay. That's all he does.
Yeah, and I wasn't even counting YouTubers. So
Bridget Baker, a friend of ours in New York State, she's full-time.
Mel from Burnout is full-time, but she's also got a pretty healthy YouTube too.
Right.
Yeah, but she can neglect that YouTube for months at a time.
Oh yeah, definitely she could. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of the people that are doing really good in this that are full-time, they don't have YouTube. You don't know them. They're just quiet and they're just doing their own thing.
Right.
Like we know, actually, no. Come to think of it, we know another one that we were going to talk about in tomorrow's video, but I cut most of it out because it didn't make sense for the video. But we know somebody that does reselling locally, just about 45 minutes from us, and he does more than we do, and he does consignment. He doesn't buy inventory. Every single thing he sells is consignment.
And think about all those guys buying storage units. You know, there's a ton of them that don't have YouTube channels.
Well, they're probably doing okay depending on how they're getting rid of the inventory. Most of the people I know doing storage units on YouTube are not doing well in the reselling side. They're doing well on the YouTube side.
Yeah, the ones you see on YouTube.
That's what I mean. The ones on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about the ones you don't know anything about.
Yeah, if you take people like, well, Art of Resale, he hasn't been doing much YouTube, but he does a ton of storage units. I'll bet, and he's setting up at flea markets. Like he's not keeping inventory; he's rotating inventory. I'll bet he's doing all right.
Right.
I personally know one. She's about 5 foot away.
She doesn't count. She has a YouTube famous husband that pays all the bills.
That's true. With my extravagant pastor salary.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that video you put out on your channel.
Yeah.
What did you do to sync, or did you do anything to sync the music to the video to where it was hitting on the spots in the video where it should have been?
Just editing.
Did you do that on purpose?
Yeah, I did.
That was well done. Like the beat was hitting on the cars passing and stuff. It was well done.
Yeah, I mean, not every beat. The one thing I found about editing is there's lots of happy accidents.
Yeah.
If you do probably about 40% of it right, the rest of it's just happy accidents. So
Bob Ross the shit out of it.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. It was hitting right on a lot of spots. I was like, dang.
I didn't really mean that for public consumption. It was really just a test because I haven't uploaded anything like that. And I actually learned a couple of things. One thing for sure, I didn't know that it's just the whole "is it made for kids" thing.
Yeah. I just always check no.
Yeah, I started to, and I was like, well, it's not made for kids.
Right. It's asking, is this specifically made for kids?
Right. And so it when I did that, it doesn't allow for comments on that.
Why I did that?
Huh?
I noticed it didn't have comments on. I thought you shut them off.
No, it's because it was marked as made for kids.
I got it.
So now I learned that. That was the kind of thing I was actually just wanting to learn from the upload process. Is like I've just always uploaded unlisted things that I have links that I send people to.
We're trying different stuff. Like I'm really kind of getting into the editing stuff a little bit more this year.
Yeah.
So you'll notice our videos are like bipolar every week. They're a little different. Tomorrow's video is way, way different, but I've kind of broken the editing up into, I do my rough cut where I cut out all the silence and the mistakes and all that. And then I come back and I do a sound edit. And then I do an overlay edit where if I need words on the screen or any kind of B-roll, which we don't usually have. And then at the end, I finally, after 4 years, I started getting into the color grading edit, which that shit's black magic. I don't know if I'll ever get it, but I'm really trying with the color grading, because we have a lot of washed out space in here where it's white, and the light just kind of washes it out. So we're doing a lot of color editing. And sometimes I think, like tomorrow's video, I think it's oversaturated in spaces and it's not that great. But doing that, we're also trying different stuff with the video. Like you'll see, if we watch our videos, our last 4 videos, every time we get into what sold for the week, our viewers just drop. Like they go away immediately. Really? As soon as it gets the part of the video where it's what sold this week, gone. Like most of the audience dives.
They're just not there for that.
We did something different with it this week that changes that up. Yeah. And it feels silly and foolish, but it made us laugh, so we don't care. But we're gonna see if tomorrow's video holds people any better or not.
Yeah. Interesting. I'll have to check it out. Is it up already on the preview or is it uploaded already?
Yeah, it will be as soon as we're done here. I got to publish to members.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah, no, that most of that hitting on the right spot. Like the first cuts are lined up for a certain effect, but then anything else that kind of lines up. There was one spot that I couldn't quite make work out when the music fully kicked in. I wanted it to be right when it got on the interstate, but the way it played out, I didn't have enough footage to make that transition the way I wanted to. So. But 90% of that was just a happy accident. So
looks like Todd got comfortable in the new channel. He took his shoes off and everything.
Got his own clouds up there.
Kicking back.
Yeah. You gotta sell on clouds, right?
No.
No.
I try to stay away from shoes.
Yeah.
I sell little.
I don't blame you there.
I don't know if we've ever found a pair, and if we did find a pair in South Dakota, they'd probably be full of cow shit on the bottom. So probably wouldn't even pick them up.
No, I didn't customize it.
That was customized.
I don't know if we've ever found a pair of on clouds. I'll bet Teresa's probably seen a pair out there somewhere.
I think that's what I purchased from overseas. If that's, for sure that's what made them.
I don't mind shoes selling and, boots and shoes.
I'll tell you why
people don't do it because they're kind of nasty sometimes, but I don't mind.
I hate shoes because Teresa blocked our exit with our shoes. She took all of our shoes and bought this door hanging rack right there, and now that's the door out to the other half of this shop. And now if you go out there, you'll knock the shoes down. So I don't like shoes just because of that.
But I mean, if I can pay $4 for a pair of shoes and sell them for $50, I'm in.
You'll have to drop that link. You'll have to drop that link, Corey. If I put it in the chat, it doesn't go out.
Oh, I don't know if I could copy that link. Here, I'll go grab the channel though.
I can put it in private chat if you need me to. It will eventually be reselling related, Wesley. Actually, that one is reselling related. The little short test. It was actually just the drive.
You were going to Texas, weren't you?
Yeah, I was driving to Texas to pick that stuff up.
Do you know how many society channels are out there?
I know. There's a bunch. Yeah.
I don't even find yours when I search for it. But I'll go to the other channel because I'm subscribed over there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's a bunch. I'll have to, if I'm going to rise above the algorithm, I'll have to beat all those fools out.
Yes, you will. You've got your work cut out for you over there too.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Those guys all so this will be.
I'm not saying that in a cocky way. It's just I'm not really worried about it.
#1 Playmobil sellers in here
Yeah.
just throwing shade at these guys.
Yeah, no, I don't worry about that kinds of. That's the advice I've been trying to give to Chris is just quit worrying about all that stuff. Which is probably bad advice if you're trying to make a go of it.
It's not. I think it's good advice. I think if you're going to do this, you just got to put a video out and then figure out one thing you can do better for the next video and do that, and then just keep doing that.
Yeah,
like
we're
4 years in, we're still trying to get our videos decent.
Yeah,
we work on it every day.
I guess what I'm trying to, if I'm trying to steer him at all, and this is really dangerous because I don't have a YouTube channel, so to speak. But if he can be happy, if he can make the videos he wants to make and find his audience with that, he'll be a lot happier than trying to chase an audience that's doing stuff that he's not necessarily natural at doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think Chris could make a really good channel and make a really good run of it in a lot of different niches. I think Chris's problem is the same problem a lot of people have. He changes direction more than a ping pong ball.
Yeah, he really does.
This is pot calling kettle black. I understand that. Like I do the same thing, but
yeah,
with
that's
this
the thing.
If you're going to
yeah, if you're going to take people along with you for the ride, though, you got to be consistent.
So, you have to. Yeah. Yep. This channel, we knew we couldn't do that. We couldn't change directions all the time. And if we are going to change directions, they have to be subtle changes. We could change our video format. We do a little bit each week until we find what we like. Yeah. We've changed our video format a few times.
If you're in a band, in a rock band, and like you're not getting traction as fast as you need it, and you
don't play polka next week.
That's what I'm saying. Then you suddenly decide, you know what? Maybe we should try like polka or something. You're just going to destroy any audience you've been building. So you just got to
start over every time.
There's a point, I'm sure, with like maybe you can add some context to this, Corey, but there's probably at some point where you kind of reach escape velocity, as it were, and you kind of your channel has enough critical mass to kind of like start building momentum.
Yeah, you do. I mean, at a certain point you do, but at a certain point no matter what change or what format or niche or what you're doing, it seems to kind of plateau for you.
Mm-hmm.
And when it plateaus, you just got to figure out. And Gemini is a big help for that because it is owned by the same company. Yeah. You can actually ask it based on the type of video I do in the niche I'm in. Am I plateaued because I've reached the audience? Like this is my audience. Have I reached all of them and I'm at my plateau, or am I not reaching my audience? And it was pretty clear with us that we hit about 10% of the audience. That's the perfect match for us. We're just not doing our jobs good enough.
Yeah. You know, a little inside baseball with like church stuff. Like I never really worried about it, but the people who know this stuff from like just not a marketing standpoint, but just a way things work standpoint. Like there are a couple different, like the first hardest barrier to break through is like 100-ish people. And then you can get to about 200 doing it the same way you've been doing it. But then you'll stall there between 200 and 250. You'll stall if you don't you have to, what grew you to that phase won't grow you past that phase because it takes a whole different kind of structure. And as far as like how you get things done and stuff like that. And then
the other day, because she went back. Somebody said earlier some of our really old videos are getting served, and they are. And Teresa saw one from like almost 4 years ago. It was almost one of our first 10 videos, and she watched it and she died laughing. She's like, "I can't believe you put this shit out there."
But yeah, then like after 250, I think the next kind of barrier is 500. And then 1,000. Once you hit 1,000, like the basic structure of a church of 10,000 and 1,000 and 10,000 is basically the same. Because
there's what the hell's that guy's name? He's the creator of ClickFunnels.
ClickFunnels. I don't
Ryan Brunson or something like that. I don't remember his name, but he's the one that kind of coined the 1,000 true fans theory in marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's from the Amish church or something. But basically the idea is the real struggle is to get to that first 1,000 fans. Once you have 1,000 true fans, they will carry you the rest of the way. But getting to that first 1,000 fans, that's where you got to put in all the real work.
Yeah.
Like
And
he did a whole book on it.
Yeah, it's kind of I mean, it's just kind of intuitive if you're not studying it, it's kind of intuitive, like what it takes to have a small church is very kind of family oriented, has a family feel. Because
Russell Brunson is his name, by the way.
Russell Brunson. But once you reach a certain point, it's not that you can't still have that feel. It's just that you can't run something that big like a family. You have to start running it more like a organization. And you got to find other ways to have the family thing, which is why a lot of people will do what's called like life groups or small groups. In other words, it's like you're trying to have small groups that keep that family feel, but then you have like a whole collection of smaller groups together to build it bigger. And so, but it's kind of intuitive if you actually just think it through. But there are very real barriers at very specific spots in the journey. Sure. So, yeah.
And there's a lot of things you can get away with a channel with 30 people watching that you can't get away with a channel where you get 1,000 views per video, for example.
Yeah.
There's certain things you just don't do when you at certain stages. And there's a lot of stuff we have the freedom to do that Kevin would probably never do.
Yeah.
It's not because he doesn't want to do them. It's just that's different when you're at that scale.
Yeah. And like, just like today's conversation a little bit, like Kevin's not going to, it's not going to work with his audience if he starts going after people. He's beyond that going after people point, unless his whole thing is built on that. So,
well, and people with a channel that size, they've kind of built the train and got it going and it's up to speed. Now's not the time to jerk the wheel to the left.
Yeah.
Like it's on the tracks, it's going. You don't want to derail the train.
Yeah.
If I start putting out 3D printer content tomorrow on my channel, sure, there'd be a little commotion, but I'm not going to derail the train.
Yeah, it's funny how many how many principles apply across industry and life and everything. But like one of the sayings in like ministry is you can change directions and go a different way. You just have to be real careful because depending on how big your boat is, if you make too big of a turn, you're going to throw a whole bunch of people overboard.
Yeah. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes you don't want them people on the boat anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you have to jerk the wheel to miss an iceberg.
Just see who's in the seatbelt and who's not.
And then sometimes the ship's too big and it's going to hit the iceberg anyway because you can't turn it fast enough. Little lessons from life.
And that, folks, is our marketing segment. So we have covered everything officially.
Yeah.
I don't think we missed anything today. We did sandwiches.
We haven't talked about the Hindu goddess of something or other.
Yeah, we covered that when I said I don't know.
Me too.
We covered that thoroughly. I am a little bit upset that I didn't get through the rest of these stereo views. I ran out of tray space. Now I gotta have to go print more trays. And there's some good ones left in here, dang it.
I've got a box of units to carry with me to town. Units. DVD combo units.
Oh, to go donate?
Yeah. I'm gonna let them deal with them since they all came from that organization.
We're talking about trains. I got some train stereo views.
Speaking of trains, that was the big sale we had during this was a train car, a Playmobil train car.
Really?
Yeah. We listed it yesterday. It's a nice one. So the cattle car?
Yeah.
Cattle car.
The cattle car, the Playmobil cattle car. No.
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 Cattle car. It was I thought the cattle car was it's the freight train, the freight
Freight, just a freight car. Just a freight car. Standard freight car. Colorado freight car.
Just a box car.
Just a
Oh,
box.
Cole. Well, probably wouldn't be Cole either. That'd be an open car, wouldn't it? I don't know that much about trains, but I'm guessing they load them from the top on those.
Closed. It's a box.
It's just an enclosed box car, like with a sliding door on the side. Just your basic box car.
I got you.
The little cattle car, was the cattle car worth more?
No.
No? I figured that would have been worth more.
There's more of them for sale.
Didn't have any cows in it.
She said there was more of those for sale. This one was a lot rare. Yeah. She's so smart.
Stupid iCloud keeps getting me to agree to their new terms. I don't want it.
Did not marry you just for your looks. All the other benefits.
You're such a sweetheart.
Well, I'm a butthole.
All right, fellas, I'm gonna go edit my video. Well, I'm not gonna edit. I already edited. I'm gonna go publish my video and try to get something else done today.
Yeah. Hands looking good, Todd. Looking
I feel like
looking
we
good.
had a good show once we got Chris
I
here.
appreciate the vote of confidence in my hands.
Hey, don't shake. Don't shake. Come on. There you go.
All right, guys.
Appreciate y'all letting me on. Old geezer I am. Yeah.
Thanks for popping in, man.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.